Night unfolds quietly on these forgotten corridors of time, where dust-laden doorways open onto chambers meant to remain sealed. In each hidden tomb, we encounter a silence that transcends centuries. No mere echo, but a presence, breathing in stillness. It's as though these buried vaults cradle more than bones and artifacts. They cradle revelations that challenge the margins of our understanding. The air within resonates with mystery, whispering of unrecorded stories and powers overlooked by the living. Here, names slip through grasping fingers, and even time itself seems unsure whether to advance or rewind. We stand before a legacy that questions our reality. A mummy with no identity, a skeleton shimmering with crystallized memory, a chamber whose resonance shifts the mind. With each discovery, we ask if these anomalies defy explanation, or if we are simply unprepared to accept what our ancestors once knew. We open these tombs now, but can we bear their truths? Amidst the silent sands of history, let us embark on a journey into the ancient world where shadows whisper tales of mystery and time stands still. In the hushed embrace of Egypt's Valley of the Kings, the air remains thick with the echoes of past triumphs and tragedies. This landscape, timeless and eternal, cradles within its heart the stories of pharaohs and their era, an immortal narrative of grandeur and enigma. It is here, under unyielding desert skies, that the enigmatic tale of Tomb K555 unfolds, a repository of secrets as profound as it is perplexing. A burial site veiled in mystery, and an eternal question echoing through the annals of time. The Valley of the Kings, a hallowed stretch of land, stands as a monument to a civilization venerating the cycle of life and death. Here, earth and kings are intertwined, each tomb a silent sentinel, a narrative carved into stone and echoing across millennia. Revered for its sacred silence, this necropolis is a landscape sculpted by both divine and human hands. It houses the eternal slumber of Egypt's elite within its cliffs, a tapestry of dynastic power woven with threads of mystery, belief, and cosmic reflection. In its dried and sun-baked embrace lies the epicenter of intrigue, Tomb K455, discovered in the winter of 1907. This simple, unadorned tomb, shrouded in the sands of time, quickly unraveled into a puzzle that has captivated minds ever since. Unearthed by Edward R. Ayrton, a name now as intertwined with the tomb as the mysteries it holds, Tomb K55 became not simply a site of excavation, but of wonder and endless speculation. Here, amidst the echoes of eternity, it invites explorers to bear witness to secrets held within shadows and stone, each artifact a fragment of a larger, unknowable truth. Ayrton's discovery was akin to peeling back layers of time itself, a portal gently opened to glimpses of a world rich with untold stories. As dust settled, the tomb revealed a tale of both desecration and haste, a hurried interment, or perhaps a sacrilege committed in defiance of forgotten laws. A mummy lay hidden within, swathed in linen, a nameless figure whose identity is shrouded in anonymity. It became known as the cursed mummy with no name, a figure of curiosity and wonder, and the epicenter of countless scholarly debates. The body wrapped in linen invites silent contemplation, a figure preserved by ancient hands and the indomitable veil of mystery. It is here that questions arise like the desert sun. Who was this individual of presumed royal status, yet enveloped in secrecy? All efforts to unveil the mummy's identity have only added layers to the enigma. Theories suggest it could be Akhenaten, the notorious heretic pharaoh, whose tale resonates through history like a faint echo from another realm, each hypothesis hinting at truths yet fully revealed. Akhenaten, once upon a time known as Amenhotep IV, stands as a figure of disruption. His reign marked a schism in Egyptian history, a pivot from the well-trodden path of polytheism toward the monumental vision of monotheism, where Aten, the solar disk, was elevated above all deities. This revolutionary shift in belief uprooted traditions, prompting spiritual reflection and societal upheaval, a stark departure from norms entwined with Egypt's identity for generations. The tomb suspected to house his remains thus becomes not merely a resting place, but a crucible of potential insights and profound contemplation. Tangles between the identities in tomb K555 and royalty like Tutankhamun further entwine the narrative, connecting the boy king to this cursed figure. DNA suggests shared lineage, weaving a tapestry of familial bonds dappled with intrigue. These connections speak of dynastic complexities, a familial saga laced with spiritual resonance and the rich pageant of historical narrative. The convergence of these royal figures invites deeper reflection on the webs of power spinning through time and unraveling across destinies. Entwining itself within this ancient mosaic is the legendary Curse of the Pharaohs, a tale as old as the desert sands, laden with foreboding and cautionary whispers. It is said that curses guard these sacred tombs, the flux of misfortune woven into the fabric of discovery, suggesting otherworldly forces at play. The allure of such legends paints the treasure seeker's pathways through time, weaving into the narrative a tantalizing intersection of reality and superstition, a murmur from the shadows that compels continuous rumination. Yet, the desecration within this tomb stands unresolved, a testament to ancient conflicts and motives inexplicably bound to time and space. Evidence points toward disruption by grave robbers, or perhaps a reburial, signaling unrest or forgotten lore. Such acts speak of ruptured continuity, an attempt to rewrite or efface history, propelled by motives lost in the ether. Here lies the tomb's enigma, an unanswered question persistent in its whisper, drawing us into prolonged reflection. Within these confines, the coffin emerges as a silent witness of this bygone epoch, adorned yet defaced, a canvas of reverence and controversy. The workmanship, though tarnished by uncertainty, dances between allegiances and reinterpretations, echoing ancient dialogues on legacy and memory. Its artistry stands as a doorway to contemplation, rendering glimpses into beliefs marked by the fusion of spiritual conviction and the imprints of temporal change. These once untarnished symbols and cartouches reclaim stories of identity and transcendence, threads in the grand weave of human legacy. The tale of religious transformations reverberates deeply across this ancient pachyderm of mystery. Akhenaten's shifts pushed not only familial realms, but also the broader cultural, religious, and artistic landscapes, heralding a departure bold and transformative. The fallout from his monotheistic advances is mirrored in Tomb K55, a testament to spiritual shifts far beyond theology. Reflections upon this past transformation resonate with our own search for meaning, inviting lessons in adaptability and resilience on life's shifting pathways. Carved within its walls, the tomb bears testament to architectural secrets, subtly hinting at historical and cultural dimensions unobserved. The simplicity of design contrasts with the vast insignificance of historical interpretation, its construction a dance between precision and urgency. These walls and chambers stand as silent witnesses to the architect's vision, amalgamating human endeavor, temporal shifts, and socio-political nuances, the tangible echo of Egypt's grand narrative. Central to understanding these mysteries is the Amarna period, a fleeting yet eternally impactful epoch in the history of ancient Egypt. Here, the rapid evolution of identity within the arts and cultural expressions resonates within KV55's narrative, drawing together elements of Akhenaten's rule and the broader milieu of innovation. The artistic transformation embodied by the Amarna influence is stringently layered with historical and spiritual narratives, inviting examination of the dynamics between tradition and evolution. Tangles of ancestral politics within this era further illuminate the enigma at the heart of Tomb Cave 55. Dynastic contentions, fraught with power struggles and fluctuating allegiances, carved pathways of influence within Egypt's storied landscape. In pondering these topics, KV55 becomes a prism relaying tales of ancient power plays, where legacy and familial ambition twisted through the discourse of legend. Each question answered, or left unspoken, carries the legacy of political ambition intertwined with earnest faith, each suggestion leaving resonances softly vibrating through corridors of time. Artifacts from the tomb speak quietly, yet resoundingly of the era they echo. Ceremonial and everyday objects, a veritable treasure trove of context and value, offer us insights into beliefs and practices from an era long extinguished, yet never fully lost. These items are the pale voices of the silent past, conjuring a sensory tapestry where followers of secrets can wander among tales lost yet distant. Every relic bears subtle weight, offering dimly lit glimpses into a past spinning perpetually alongside the present. Speculation on historical analysis breathes life into the perceived voids of knowledge as we explore Tomb Cave 55. It becomes a lens through which to imagine possibilities amid the backdrop of evidence, hypotheses that expand beyond what is certain into what is conceivable. This dynamic, imaginative interplay emboldens new inquiries, where the process of questioning fuels a dialogue between evidence and innovation, inviting layered contemplation on the complex, fluid nature of understanding. Here, as we stand at the frontier of discovery and mystery, Tomb K555 serves as a testament to humanity's relentless pursuit of knowledge. Its legacy extends along infinite threads of past, present, and future, reminding us of the intricate interconnectivity of all historic quests. It invites us to see not only what was and what is, but to meditate upon the very essence of our ancestry, where ceilings meet floors, and questions unasked become revelations ushered forth in whispers. And so, as we pause upon the precipice of this journey into the tomb, Cave 55, we remain entranced, perceiving history through a lens ancient yet perpetually new, a shared story etched in time, waiting to be read by the seekers who walk therein. Alongside the unspoken whispers of pharaohs departed, the journey echoes within us, leaving resonances of awe and wonder mingling like desert sands perpetually swept onward, timeless and entrancing. Deep within the heart of Belize, amid the lush embrace of the Tapir Mountain Nature Reserve, there lies a hidden sanctuary, known to the world as Aktun Tunichil Muknal, a name that whispers of sacred secrets and lost echoes of ancient rituals. This cave, often referred to simply as ATM, beckons adventurers and seekers alike, promising a journey not just through the tangled corridors of limestone, but through time itself. Here, woven into the very fabric of the jungle, is a place where the earthly and the ethereal kiss, where the breath of the Maya civilization feels alive, lingering gently in the hanging vines and misty air. To enter Actun Tunihil Muknal is to embark on a pilgrimage to a realm where nature guards her mysteries with unwavering vigilance. Visitors, drawn by the magnetic pull of the unknown, must wade through cooling waters and traverse the cave's intricate passages, each step a gentle invocation of reflection and reverence. Within the cave, where stalactites descend like celestial chandeliers, light dances in shifting constellations, teasing the boundaries of perception and inviting spirits to the delicate interplay of shadows and illumination. In the year 1989, an awe-inspiring discovery by a team of archaeologists led by Dr. Jaime Awe brought the world's attention to the crystalline beauty slumbering within ATM, the Crystal Maiden. Her remains, infused with the earth over centuries, glisten with a ghostly ethereal quality, a haunting testament to an ancient ritual past. This young woman lies in repose, her arms gracefully extended, enveloped in the gentle embrace of calcite, forever intertwined with the natural artistry of the cave. Her identity remains as enigmatic as the luminescent formations surrounding her, a silent custodian of the cave's narrative. The Crystal Maiden captivates all who gaze upon her crystalline form, evoking visions of long-forgotten rituals and echoing chants that once reverberated through these cool, echoing halls. Some theorists postulate that her death served a higher purpose, an offering to Chak, the revered Maya rain god, during a time of desperate need. Her timeless slumber now offers a space for contemplation, where life's cyclical nature and the divine's inscrutable choreography invite quiet reflection. Her presence calls gently through the shadows, guiding visitors along the unseen paths of history. In understanding this sacred realm, one begins to unravel the dense tapestry of Maya beliefs, a civilization attuned to the rhythmic dance of life, death, and rebirth. For the Maya, the world's pulse could be felt through offerings deep within the earth. Actun Tunichil Muknal became a ceremonial nexus, a conduit between the tangible and the mystical. This was no ordinary journey. It was descent into collective consciousness, a pilgrimage into the sacred mantle where spirits and gods conversed. Human sacrifice, through contemporary eyes, may seem grim. Yet, within Maya spiritual practice, it was revered as an act of the highest devotion. Each offering was an intricate dialogue with the cosmos, where the boundary between life and the divine blurred. Here, the cave's history speaks, urging us into the quiet embrace of understanding, where the intentions of the ancestors reveal perennial truths about humanity's place in the universe. The skeletal transformation of the Crystal Maiden is a tale told by nature's gentle alchemy. Over countless years, minerals carried by slow-moving waters have shrouded her bones, creating a shimmering veil of calcite, a testament to the relentless passage of time and Earth's artistic touch. This is no mere accident of geology, but an ethereal narrative of transformation, where the mundane enters a sacred realm, echoing with spiritual significance. To those who bear witness, these calcified remains are far more than mere curiosities. They are whispers of the divine, a delicate reminder of the sacred dance between life and death. Nature's artistry offers a bridge between earthly existence and ethereal transcendence, speaking to us of cycles unending and unseen. The harmonious union of bone and crystal invites deep contemplation, a reminder that even in silence, life continues its grand, eternal transformation. Venturing deeper into the cavernous embrace of Actun Tunishil Muknal, one's senses are enveloped by an auditory tapestry that transcends time. The natural acoustics here amplify whispers into hymns, resonating in an almost celestial harmony. Such auditory phenomena were no accident. For the Maya, these spaces were sacred instruments, harnessing sound to echo prayers and intentions, weaving them through the very stone to resonate with the divine. These echoes create a dialogue between past and present, connecting the human breath to ancient murmurs. When voices rose in ritual, the cave became a sonorous cathedral, amplifying every sacred syllable into the earth's core. Modern visitors find solace in these echoes, as if the cave itself engages in an ancient dialogue, drawing seekers to the depths of spiritual inquiry. Within this sanctum of sound, one may find threads of connection that bind all who enter to the timeless quest for understanding and transcendence. In the eyes of the Maya, Aktun Tunichil Muknal was a pathway to the ancestors, an essential link to those who had walked the earthly plane before. The cave offered a spatial metaphor for this connection, where ancestral spirits could guide the living through their earthly challenges and spiritual journeys. Within these hallowed halls, pilgrims sought wisdom and blessings, treading the paths worn smooth by those who came before. Within the crystalline remains of ancient forebears, modern visitors feel the presence of those who built the foundations of the world, offering guidance from the veil of time. To step into this space is to commune not only with history, but with the timeless energy that courses through human veins. Aktun Tunichil Muknal, with all its beautiful intricacies, provides a space for deep introspection, bridging personal ancestry with the larger tapestry of human existence. As one pauses by the crystal effigy of the maiden, a narrative of sacred sacrifice unfolds. This figure is more than a symbol of death. She is a beacon of celestial communication, a willing ambassador to the divine. Her placement within the cave's innermost sanctum was a deliberate act, positioning her in a locus of cosmic power. Her presence speaks of intricate rituals, orchestrated with reverence to encourage the divine harmony necessary for the world's balance. Her lasting significance invites reflection on the rituals that sustained a civilization, offering insight into a society that saw in sacrifice a merging of human intention with divine providence. The Crystal Maiden's legacy is one of unity, a reminder of the delicate threads that tied human life to celestial spheres. In guiding the living and honoring the spiritual continuum, she remains perpetually alive within the cave's deep shadows. The path through Aktun Tunichil Muknal mirrors a journey into the mythical heart of the cosmos. Navigating its labyrinthine halls evokes the Maya's conception of Xibalba, the underworld, a trial through shadow-imbued corridors, testing not merely physical endurance, but spiritual resolve. This traversal speaks to the hero's journey within each soul, illuminating the quest for wisdom that transcends culture and time, urging all who enter to seek inner clarity and enlightenment. Modern travelers, with each tentative step past shadowed crevices, walk a path mirroring this profound journey. It is an exploration both personal and expansive, an opportunity to engage with the transformational power of darkness, giving way to light. As they tread where priests once chanted, modern pilgrims reconnect with a shared human heritage, an eternal quest that whispers wisdom and courage through the timeless echoes of Aktun Tunichil Muknal. This sacred landscape, a part of a broader spiritual tapestry woven by the Maya, invites deep reflection on reality's multidimensional nature. Aktun Tunichil Muknal forms one node in this cosmic web, offering portals to realms wherein matter and spirit converse. This is a place where the worldly and the divine coexist, inviting those who enter to acknowledge and embrace universal mysteries. To traverse this threshold is to engage with a consciousness that defies linear perception. Here, I am not just earth and rock, but a cradle of spiritual awakening, a place where the ancient fulcrum between past and future resides. Interconnected now as then, the cave's embrace calls forth wonder, revealing infinite possibilities to those who trust its tranquil guidance. Archaeological endeavors within Aktun Tunicil Muknal continue to peel back the layers of its identity. A trove of revelations manifest in potsherds and tools, each echoing the melodious music of life long past. These artifacts, born of time, reflect an essence of devotion, an infusion of spiritual intent in every shard and sacred carving. This assemblage paints a vibrant portrait of Maya life, affording glimpses of both mundane existence and celestial aspiration. Discovering these treasures offers not only a celebration of Maya craftsmanship, but an opportunity to reflect on the spiritual energies infused in each artifact. Seen in context, these physical manifestations become spiritual codices, inviting interpretation and insight from those attuned to their echoes, ensuring that the cave's myriad voices transcend the passage of time. In stepping, carefully, through the passage of Aktun Tunicil Muknal's corridors today, visitors engage with a legacy both tangible and transcendental. This modern pilgrimage bridges the self to a realm of reflection, compelling seekers to honor the sacred echoes that radiate from ancient recesses. Through this journey, the spiritual kinship tying contemporary experience to ancestral devotion inspires authenticity, clarity, and gratitude. Each present-day exploration sparkles with resonance, an invitation to deepen the search for self within the sacred harmony of Aktun Tunicil Muknal. Here, the timeless story unspools an ongoing dialogue with divine mysteries, echoing through each heartbeat, reaching out with the wisdom of millennia and blessing each tender step through this ancient garden of ethereal whispers. In the heart of Malta lies a subterranean marvel, the Hal Saflieni Hypogeum, a creation carved from time over 4,000 years ago. With every step into this sanctum, one is engulfed by whispers of an ancient past, echoes that transcend mere sound to touch the soul. It stands as an intimate testament to an era that communicated through stones, shaping an environment where reverence and mystery coexisted. The Hypogeum, unlike any ordinary tomb, is celebrated for its architectural prowess, where the air is dense with a peculiar resonance, a testament to an ancient civilization's profound connection with sound and metaphysical realms. Venturing further into this sacred space, one encounters an auditory design so mystifying that it seems to possess an ethereal voice. Visitors have described the feeling of the tomb itself singing, perhaps an intentional construct of the ancients to harness acoustics that elevate spiritual experiences. These distorted echoes may have been designed to induce states of transcendence, fusing history, archaeology, and spiritual engagement. Here, sound is not just heard, it is felt and experienced in ways that transcend architectural mastery, entering the profound realm of spiritual science. Diving into the historical depths of this intriguing site, we unearth not just stone, but a narrative of a people who existed long before written history graced their chronicles. The ancient Maltese civilization, shrouded in obscurity due to a lack of documented records, left behind structures that speak louder than scrolls. These subterranean temples and sepulchres echo a landscape of spiritual sophistication, a hybrid of sanctuary and necropolis. With careful hands and primitive tools carved from stone and bone, they etched their legacy into the limestone bedrock, an endeavor revealing an advanced comprehension of construction, acoustics, and spirituality. The layout of the hypogeum unfolds as a sacred labyrinth, comprising intricately carved chambers and niches aligned for specific ceremonial purposes. This multifaceted structure, perfectly preserved, offers a spectacular canvas for scholars to explore the ancient cosmo-spiritual ethos, a glimpse into the holistic worldview our forebears possessed. Within these carved confines, a hidden tapestry emerges of a community that understood sound's significance, where rituals likely enveloped participants in acoustic embrace, embellishing their spiritual narrative with echoes of transformation. The concept that these stones could sing is not purely metaphorical. Instead, it refers to a real acoustic phenomenon that intrigues modern science to this day. The hypogeum's architects, with their unassuming materials and profound intentionality, engineered environments where sound behaved in beguiling manners. It appears they harnessed infrasound, sound waves at frequencies below the range of human hearing, suggesting they had grasped something beyond mere acoustics, a therapeutic power or a vehicle for bridging dimensions. Questions arise about the ancient builder's wisdom and intent. Could it be that these stones were keys to altered perceptions, primitive tools crafted to open the doorways of consciousness? Despite its primary funerary association, acoustical evidence points to a ceremonial dimensionality, a potential apparatus for connecting to the spiritual plane. This enigma continues to ignite our curiosity about the bygone cognitive grasp of sound, entwining tomb and temple in a silent narrative choreographed by the dance of echoes. At the heart of this architectural riddle lies the resonance chamber, a singular feature renowned for its stunning acoustical properties. In this intimate, oval-shaped recess, whispers transform into tangible waves, enveloping the chamber in deep, oscillating hums when uttered at particular frequencies. This confluence of architectural design and spiritual implication reveals deliberate planning, emphasizing sound as a potent architectural tool that influences not just the ear, but the soul. This resonant chamber is hypothesized to elicit altered states, suspending time and space for those who listen. Accounts from visitors range from serene calm to transcendental awareness and an odd sensation of dissociation from reality. Scientific inquiry into these effects suggests that infrasound holds sway over our neural circuits, capable of invoking visions or deep meditation. This convergence of ancient architectural savviness and contemporary acoustic science nurtures ongoing debates, challenging our comprehension of historical reality and its intersection with theoretical possibilities and metaphysical realms. In line with these studies, many individuals, spiritual seekers and skeptics alike, have recounted transformative experiences within the hypogeum's echoes. As sounds wrap around them, some describe being transported to ethereal realms, interacting with the spirits entombed within its walls. These narratives contribute a personal touch to the hypogeum's enigmatic allure, hinting at the ancients' intent to channel sound toward purpose-driven transcendental journeys. These sonic pathways, inscribed onto the stone bodies of the hypogeum, beckon us to ponder the intended role of voice and incantation within its sacred confines. Perhaps it was not just about echoing chants, but about constructing a resonant bridge between earthly lives and divine spheres. Here, amplified human voices became a vessel for supernatural invocation, transforming this resonant sanctuary into a spiritual symphony. In such shared auditory experiences, the hypogeum united voice and stone into a medium of silent dialogue between man and the heavens. The significance of ritual sound within these sanctuaries likely diverges into realms far beyond what speech alone could convey. Accompanied by the echo's reverberation, these vocal expressions could become intensified spiritual invocations, elevating the participants into an atmospheric crescendo of consciousness elevation. Through the emphasis on voice and ritual, we begin to unravel how the architect's perception of sound illuminated their visionary interplay of architecture and spirituality. In considering the hypogem through contemporary lenses, we also invite modern acousticians and spiritual seekers to interpret and theorize its ancient phenomena. These insights propose links to an early incarnation of sacred science, an integration of geometry, materiality, and acoustic flow, breaking the barriers of earthly awareness to traverse the divine. These narratives converge on the theme of sound's intrinsic charm, envisioning the hypogeum as a node of worship, stimulating dialogue on the potential of sensory experiences to transcend the mundane. Current explorations using advanced technology further underline the labyrinthine soundscape intrinsic to the hypogeum. Acoustic specialists deploy precision instruments to map the resonant behavior of sound within its chambers, progressively revealing frequencies that captivate and entice human senses. These findings lay substantial groundwork for theories on how ancient architects intuited these sonic phenomena to craft a profound spiritual ambience. These ancient echoes go beyond Malta's shores. Across cultures, sacred spaces revered sound as a transformative medium, suggesting a shared antique knowledge and reverence for its transcendental properties. From the resonant canyons of Petra to Stonehenge's deliberate alignments, these acoustical attributes frequent religious landscapes worldwide, suggesting a collective acknowledgement of sound's sacred utility. In taking this acoustic journey, we embrace the profound relationship between sensory perception and spirituality, capturing an ageless bond that defies temporal constraints. These echoes breathe life back into ancient whispers, revitalizing the ethos of how humanity, from ages past, sought communion with the ineffable through the transformative voice of sound. As the hypogeum's quiet resonance persists through the years, it calls to its listeners, resonating whispers that invite us to embrace the hidden potential and spiritual profundity these architects of eternity sought through the purity of sound. In the hushed recesses of Egypt's timeless sands, nestled within the cliffs of the Theban necropolis, a mystery unfurled beneath an opal sky, revealing the secrets of Deir el-Bahari. Here, amid the muted whispers of centuries past, a hidden cache of royal mummies emerged in 1881, as if the sands themselves sought to unveil truths long buried. What unfolded in this secretive enclave was both staggering and haunting, beckoning scholars with its chilling enigma, the mummified figures with faces twisted into expressions contorted by eternal screams. This unveiling began with tales of looters. An ill-fated dance with the trespassers led archaeologists to over 50 mummies laid hastily or showing signs of desecration. Their mouths ajar, their faces etched with terror, these figures stood in stark contrast to the serene repose typically granted by the meticulous Egyptian mummification practice, which often served as a portal to a peaceful afterlife. Questions arose like gentle ripples over still water. What circumstances led to such hurried interment? What rites, if clandestine, accompanied their passage into the hereafter? The screaming mummies whispered their stories through unvoiced torment, igniting a myriad of theories grounded in both the historical and the esoteric. Some scholars believed they fell victim to political thunders in the dark corridors of power, a violent struggle amid dynasty shadows. Perhaps their bodies were wrenched about by the chaos of such tumultuous events. Others, delving into more mystical waters, proposed that these unfortunate souls were ensnared in spiritual practices, binding them in corporeal and ethereal torment, a narrative woven into the ancient Egyptian belief in an afterlife shaped by the state of one's body. Deir el-Bahari, the stage for this poignant tableau, teemed with historical resonance. Under the gaze of revered pharaohs, this site evolved as a masterpiece of ritual alignment, where sacred temples harmonized with the natural world. Yet, in the years shrouding the mummy's arrival, tumult greedily churned the dynasty's waters. Family feuds, power plays, and rivalries brewed like storms upon endless sands. The site became a refuge for royalty, fleeing from the grasp of tomb robbers, interred with secrecy and hasty reverence, an act of devotion marred by urgency. The story of these anguished faces deepened further with the discovery of a figure entwined with a pharaoh's lineage. This figure, possibly connected to Amenhotep III, lay with features disturbed. Suggestions of political intrigue or a desecration that questioned the very sanctity of royal burial practices. Archaeological whispers pondered if these remains had traveled through tumultuous times, moved amid the chaos of theft and sacrilege. The hasty interment might have reflected a desperate defense against impending grave robbers. This tale's shadows grew darker with the whispered specter of live burial. Terrifying though it may be, this notion hovered over the expressions frozen in terror. Some historical accounts of punishment hinted at such gruesome fates, leaving macabre clues on skeletal remains, evidence of struggle and agony. Yet such evidence slipped elusively through scholarly fingers, shrouded perhaps in processes of mummification or natural decomposition. Amid these possibilities, the scientific chorus offered its own illumination. The relaxation of muscles upon death, the accumulation of gases, might have distorted features beyond their peaceful selves, a serendipitous result of less than perfect mummification during perilous times. The hurried reverence by which these figures were sealed in their tombs, a nod to earthly threats over celestial ceremonies, provided a less sinister interpretation, one where practicality intertwined with the spiritual narrative. Bound by ritual and practicality, ancient Egypt's burial traditions sang a dual melody. In haste, cultural duties yielded to survival. The grand symphony of preservation and religious understanding became a muted prelude to protecting the mortal vessel from the ravages of time and theft. Beneath the tangled webs of religiosity and pragmatism, a message lingered, whispering of past struggles within divine corridors, a story of upheaval wrapped in reverence, a reflection upon a time when survival colored the artistry of death. Within the bound pages of ancient Egyptian mythology, open mouths uncannily resonated, bespeaking spiritual entanglement and cosmic journeys. The shades of these screaming mummies might have symbolized more than anguish, embodying a celestial struggle against disorder or a plea from the nether shores where bygone souls ventured. Such narratives lent a mythological patina, enshrining these expressions as literary echoes cast by the ancient belief in the eternal balance between chaos and cosmos. Deviations from traditional rites raised questions tinged with divinity and turmoil, an insistence upon order amid tumult, a deviation where expediency offered unsettling insights into ancient Egyptian practices. Yet, in unending cycles of cosmic struggle and divine grace, the tombs of Deir el-Bahari showcased the richness of lavish rites, marked by hieroglyphic incantations, preserving passages in time, where prayers for the restless urged passage from this world to worlds yet untold. Modern science blended seamlessly with this mosaic, offering its lens into these obscure secrets. Computed tomography and full-spectrum analyses peeled back layers unseen, painting portraits of trauma and treatment. Such technological gazes sought bonds that might unravel whispers of past cries, tales of wounds and struggles, stories elusive yet palpable. Traversing isotopic landscapes rendered clues of ancient life, feasts relived, migrations traced within the cradle of civilization's embrace. The echo of tomb robbers fell heavily over this sanctuary, a tableau of turbulence amid the roll of royal tables and looters' agendas. In times of upheaval, the royal lineage met extremes of deceit and dare, hurrying to conceal precious, plagued vessels from greedy devotions of pilfering hands. Yet these violations might have reached beyond theft, casting an unsettling shadow upon the sanctity of death, ravaging symbologies they intended to steal or erase. Archaeologically, the discovery held firm in the annals of time, etched as testimony to the desired continuum amidst chaos. This cache illuminated the intricate lattice of beliefs and struggles for perpetuity. Interdisciplinary inquiries unfolded multi-layered interpretations, from familial allegiance to regional estrangement, each mummy a piece to an ever-expansive puzzle, an unending search for connective truths beyond the ethereal dust of time. The open mouth within Egyptian tradition whispered tales of liminal spaces and crossings, their silent screams a curiously sacred countenance. Ritual echoes of opening of the mouth ceremonies proffered keys to breath, speak, and bond the dead to a deity's embrace. Entwined with mortality's veil, these symbolic expressions wove tapestries that transcended eternity, tethered between divine invocation and earthly arrival. Cherished songs of passage amidst unearthed lamentations. When Deir el-Bahari's secrets revealed their haunting imagery, modern perceptions often found themselves touched deeply by this cultural tableau. Each face, each silent scream, invited solace, but also wonder. Society's imagination projected mythic epics upon these ancient remains, a tapestry stretching across the ages. Through the prisms of literature and art, the screaming mummies became portals that bridged yawning chasms between all that fell beneath the desert's celestial shadow. Cross-cultural associations with other ancient civilizations revealed unwritten symphonies reflected through time's echo, each step revealing the profound unity in diversity, an intricate dance of death rituals attuned to eternal transitions. A cosmic theater performed through the ages, balancing mortuary artistry and cultural mores. Egypt's rift ritualistic tones were destined to a transcendent continuum, a sonorous whisper resonating from within the Theban twilight. Psychological dimensions of their silent screams placed these mummies at the heart of a universal introspection, a muse for whispered fears shared across generations. Their inscrutable reflections offered a stark empathy, a communion among the living against imagined internal shadows forged by the ever-present specter of human frailty, resilience, and spirituality interplaying upon the eternal stage. Ethical whispers remained constant companions within excavation endeavors, a delicate duality binding veneration with exploration. Today's luminaries confronted the dust of history with reverence, employing sophisticated techniques that respected threads of weaving narratives draped across time's shroud, a shared mission by which the voices of ancient heritage could sing anew. In the media's hand, tales of these mummified figures sometimes ebbed, sometimes flowed, emblematic expressions that encouraged narrative flights across speculative realms. Though obscured by imaginative flares, such renditions reflect the timeless interplay between truth and artistic creation, sanctified by the muse of cultural transcription, a tableau of wonders that engaged, enchanted, and embraced humanity's endless quest for understanding. As conservationists labored to ensure preservation, the screaming mummy's evocative silence endured through centuries, an entrancing beacon for generations yet to come. Interwoven collaborations across institutions celebrated preservation in all its formats, a campaign to illuminate the echoes, revealing diachronic dialogue enriched by inventive techniques galvanized by shared quests for wisdom encased amid ancient land. Across cultural divides, the mummies' faces transported emotions, fostering connections transcending societal facets. These expressions were reminders of humanity's interconnected legacy, reflections cast by empathies shared in harmonious balance, bridging eras, cultures, and emotional frontiers, offering dialogue that transmuted whispers beyond mere linguistics. The continuous exploration of effortlessly holds itself against countless inquiries, each discovery an invitation to dance upon the sands anew. The unanswered become laments for tracing intricate paths, echoing behind silent cries, as knowledge and understanding wend through modern interpretations, enfolding the ancient shadows into today's blossoming insights, inviting inquiries that blend elucidating chronicles with harmonized poesy. In unraveling the enigmatic tales of Deir el-Bahari, imagination contributes, woven deeply alongside science and narrative. Creative expressions form tapestries embellished with historical anchors, fueling continual fascinations with the softly whispered mysteries resonating, echoing humanity's spirit across dimensions and epochs long gone. These interpretations flourish, embracing the marvels of interpretation that shadow the passage of life into eternal realms. The weave of oral revelations remains vital, multifaceted, ancient symphonies braided with modern discourse, weaving seamlessly upon the loom of story. Together, these spoken threads dart through halls of time, invigorated by the timeless dance of ancestry and myth, inviting voices to engage in odes celebrating the eternal journey. Intersecting seamlessly, disciplines meld through archaeology and humanities, unraveling human stories intertwined within empirical paths, reverberating throughout cultural corridors. Here lies the harmony, binding to create new discourses of unity, where every voice, every whisper, and every shade of discovery shares meaning, transcending every barrier in the abiding pursuit of knowledge. Even as the sands of discovery shift, the screaming mummies of Deir el-Bahari remain. At once they beguile and resist, singing a song eternally unending, a human lament that rests within the looming eternal, held aloft by curiosity, reverence, and the ever-unfolding dance of ancient secrets touching upon the modern world. In the arid coastal expanses of ancient Peru, where time has kept its secrets well, lies the enigmatic legacy of the Paracas culture. Between 800 BCE and 100 BCE, these people flourished, creating intricate textiles and ceramics that whispered of a society complex and spiritually attuned. Among their many curious legacies are the elongated skulls, artifacts of human history that beckon us into a labyrinth of mystery and contemplation. Preserved by the dry embrace of the Peruvian desert, these skulls open a portal to a time when cranial deformation was not merely a physical transformation, but a deeply profound cultural practice, reflecting the intricate societal tapestry of the Paracas people. In the late 1920s, the land began to yield its secrets to Peruvian archaeologist Julio Tello. As he excavated the Paracas Peninsula, vast burial sites emerged, revealing mummies with elongated skulls. This discovery propelled the Paracas into the heart of archaeological and metaphysical debates. These skulls, bound and shaped from an early age with cloth and wooden boards, were curated artifacts of a society where such modifications perhaps signified spiritual elevation or societal stratification. Each cranium stands as a testament to the Paracas' belief systems, hinting at elite status or divine connection. Artificial cranial deformation finds its place across epochs and continents, from the Maya to tribal Africa. The Paracas' examples are distinct, reaching dramatic elongations that invite us to ponder their cultural motivations. Were these transformations aimed at mirroring the divine, achieving an ethereal appearance revered in Paracas lore? The subtle dance between the physical and the spiritual challenges our understanding of identity and prompts speculation about how these people perceived their place in the universe. With the passage of time and the advent of technology, the genetic tapestry of these skulls is being unwoven. DNA studies evoke intriguing narratives of lineage and migration, suggesting a genetic heritage that stretches beyond South America. Haplogroups typically associated with Eurasian populations intertwine with these craniums, proposing ancient migrations that defy traditional historical boundaries. Yet, these findings walk the tightrope of scientific scrutiny, demanding rigorous verification to cement their truths in our understanding of history. The purpose behind these remarkable cranial forms weaves a cultural thread as vital as it is intricate. Elongated skulls may have transcended physical appearance, marking spiritual uniqueness or ancestral lineage, echoing through the annals of time as symbols of the Paracas' intellectual and spiritual ideals. Perhaps they were visual manifestations of inner knowledge, or a visible link to their mythos, where the extraordinary form governed societal perceptions, or where leaders and spiritual guides bore such distinguished features. Exotic as they are, the elongated skulls have also sparked speculation of extraterrestrial origin, threads of thought that pull on the fabric of the unknown. Are these skulls evidence of otherworldly contact with ancient humanity? Some conjecture that the unusual patterns in these craniums might point to genetic divergence influenced by entities beyond the stars. This theory, grounded more in curiosity than confirmed fact, nonetheless fuels the imagination, bridging the tangible to the esoteric fringes of possibility. History is littered with examples of cranial modification, each culture echoing its values through physical form. From the steppes of Europe to the valleys of Africa and the Americas, these practices resonate in the shared human endeavor to express cultural ideology. The Paracas, with their striking deformations, offer a distinct voice in this global chorus, their skulls a harmonization of art and purpose, identity and belief. For anthropologists delving into the narrative of the Paracas' skulls, these forms bear witness to the societal architectures that crafted them. The skulls are not merely artifacts, but chapters in the human story, where social order and spiritual aspirations intertwined to guide a culture that once thrived under the same sun as ours. Their cranial deformations testify to a society where physical form was as much a canvas of belief as text is to our understanding today. The natural environment of Peru's coast, a crucible for preservation, offers us this glimpse into the past. The desert, harsh yet kind in its embrace, has kept these relics of antiquity intact, allowing us to peer into a world where each burial, accompanied by textiles and ceremonial objects, tells a story of ritual and reverence. Within these tombs, where elongated skulls were laid to rest with their finest crafts, we find a whisper of the Paracas' journey through life to a beyond that mirrored their earthbound existence. Delving into the spiritual plane, the altered skulls of the Paracas suggest connections beyond the tangible, with an ancestry revered and perhaps seen as conduits to other realms. These forms, sculpted, molded, and revered, become artifacts not just of bone, but of transcendental significance. They stand as sentinels of a lineage that reached toward the stars, embodying the aspirations of a people whose lives were intertwined with the sacred. The visual narratives left in textiles and ceramics serve as mirrors to their belief systems, celebrating and codifying their cultural ethos. These artistic flashes from the past may immortalize the values of the elongated skulls, serving as reminders of a society where aesthetic and spiritual were but two sides of the same coin. Comparing these transformations with those from other cultures, we see both divergence and unity, a shared journey of humanity shaping itself to reflect its inner worlds across epochs and continents. The Paracas' skulls, touched by artistic elegance and the meticulous hand of craft, sing of their own place on this historical stage, echoing the traditions and beliefs etched into human form. Yet, modernity's blessings and burdens hang over our interpretation. The challenge of marrying past to present requires sensitivity and care as we unravel this intricate legacy. The scientific community must balance respect with inquiry, ensuring that the Paracas' descendants and their cultural narratives are honored in our quest for understanding. In museum halls and academic papers, these skulls must be portrayed with dignity, as expressions of a cultural heritage rich with meaning. Each skull asks us to listen, to engage with a story complex and far-reaching, respecting the voices of a time long past and protecting their integrity for generations unborn. The discoveries of Paracas do not stand in isolation, but stride forward, challenging the frameworks of archaeology and inspiring cross-disciplinary insight. They remind us that history is not a monologue, but a chorus, where each voice adds depth and perspective to our understanding. With each cranial form comes the beckoning of metaphysical possibilities, where the tangible world reaches for the ephemeral. Here, the dance between science and spirituality offers a canvas wide enough to hold the questions of existence, identity, and the evolution of consciousness. A dialogue where elongated skulls emerge as symbols of transformation and enlightenment. In the quiet realms of our modern culture, the Paracas' skulls linger, their excitement reflected in art and narrative that stretches across the tapestry of media. In film and text, these skulls inspire and provoke, reminders of an unending human fascination with the mysterious and unexplained, spinning tales that bridge the divide between fact and the imagination. As we move forward, the past intertwines with future possibility, allowing new horizons of inquiry to unlock the Paracas' secrets yet untold. Here lies the opportunity for innovation, for archaeological inquiry that dares to bridge gaps between cultures and ages, drawing connections between the ancient and the modern. The mystery persists, an ancient riddling echo carried by the winds of time, challenging us to comprehend and to celebrate the legacy the Paracas people have left us. This is the narrative of the elongation, a story cast in bone, rich with lessons and mysteries that we, the inheritors of Earth's multifaceted history, carry forward, ever in search of clarity amid the shadows of our shared past. Within the quiet solitude of the Nevada desert lies Lovelock Cave, a shadowed entrance whispering secrets from the past. In 1911, miners, driven by the mundane task of extracting guano for its nitrate-rich fertilizer properties, stumbled upon a discovery that would ripple across time and consciousness. As they peeled back the layers of dust and darkness, oversized skeletal remains emerged, draped in strands of red hair, sparking the imagination and fears of those who uncovered them. These remnants, speaking both of legend and forgotten history, seemed at once both alien and a part of the still landscape. The native Paiute people, whose connection to these lands run deep, weave tales of the Sita-Ka, towering red-haired giants who once roamed the earth. These beings, etched into the fabric of oral histories, were said to be fearsome and cannibalistic, ubiquitous in folklore long before bones were ever unearthed. According to Paiute legend, these giants met their fiery demise within the confines of the cave, a fate as storied as it is mysterious. Stories passed through the mists of time, generations holding on to whispers of a world where reality and myth danced together. The question remains whether these legends were birthed solely from imagination, or if they hold echoes of a history long forgotten. A world where giants may once have trod the earth alongside humans. The miners' discovery in 1911 shifted from a mere economic endeavor to an archaeological curiosity, as bones, oversized and disproportionate to familiar human dimensions, emerged from the sand and guano. The remnants of what some believed to be these towering giants created waves of discourse within academia, challenging the very notion of human ancestry and the boundaries of folklore. As scientific minds cast a critical eye across the findings, debates ensued, oscillating between skepticism and the wonder of potential rediscovery of lost history. The cave, once just an insignificant shadow beneath the Nevada sun, now stood as the silent custodian of a disrupted narrative, a gateway that questioned the very fabric of human understanding and antiquity. Amid these bones, artifacts surfaced, tools and textiles whispering of ingenuity and a life once thriving. Their presence invited a renewed examination, not just of the physical evidence, but of the spaces between, where tangible reality and cultural mythos intertwine. Researchers, skeptical yet intrigued, pondered the dichotomy of dismissing these remains as the artifacts of a bygone tall tale versus exploring them as potential threads of a larger tapestry woven through human history. The insights gleaned from these remains mirror a broader anthropological quest, challenging us to reconsider the presumptive limits of humanity's storied past. The elongated red strands of hair found among the skeletal remains invite speculation, recalling the cultural and symbolic significance that hair holds across civilizations. In many ancient cultures, fiery locks were seen as marks of otherworldliness, sometimes divine, other times ominous. Here, under the vaulted ceiling of Lovelock Cave, these strands raise questions of lineage, heritage, and identity. Were these beings part of a distinct cultural group, their lives marked by traditions and symbols now obscured by time? This vibrant hair serves as a potent symbol, transcending simple archaeological interpretation to speak of a world where myths are as vivid as the artifacts left behind. Today's scientific approaches address these mysteries with a blend of reverence for myth and adherence to empirical investigation. Skeptics might argue misidentified remains and propose that natural processes alone could have shaped the bones into their monstrous sizes. Yet, even in questioning the validity of early discoveries, there lingers a philosophical tension between the dismissal of legend and the embrace of tantalizing possibilities. Historical narratives, especially ones as rich and storied as the giant myth, often resist simple explanations, urging instead a deeper inquiry into what truth may lay beneath the surface. While Lovelock Cave's narratives stand isolated, they resonate with global myths. From the Nephilim of the Bible to Norse frost giants, tales of colossal beings dot the landscape of human storytelling. Anthropology might suggest that such motifs symbolize humanity's attempt to grapple with forces larger than themselves. These legends describe humanity's timeless struggle to interpret the world around them. Much like Lovelock's tale, invites reflection on how location and legend converge. The study of Lovelock Cave benefits immensely from interdisciplinary approaches. By blending archaeology with anthropology and forensic science, the very narrative structure of our past becomes a rich tapestry of interconnected insights. Through holistic inquiry, where ancient stories are neither immediately dismissed nor accepted uncritically, we carve new pathways into understanding humanity's earliest chapters. These findings become more than remnants of a forgotten world. They become a vibrant conversation between past and present, myth and science. In engaging with Lovelock's mysteries, we must remember the spiritual role of curiosity, a catalyst for exploration both within and beyond scientific study. Myths, served as vehicles for allegory, challenge the limits of our understanding. Through retelling and investigation, they offer seeds of truths that can sprout within the fertile grounds of academic inquiry, steering researchers towards new revelations. The existence of giants, whether real or imagined, encourages ongoing dialogue, a symbiotic relationship where myths inspire exploration and science grounds the fantastic. Preserving Lovelock Cave's legacy extends beyond its mysteries, involving the delicate balance of conservation and respect for the stories interwoven with its existence. Ethical exploration, guided by respect for Paiute heritage and meticulous scientific study, paves the way for an enriched comprehension of both past and present. Here, the cave becomes a preserved repository of human history, a living narrative patiently awaiting to be woven into a broader narrative fabric. Modern innovation propels this journey of discovery forward. Employing tools like 3D scanning and non-invasive archaeological techniques, researchers honor the fragility of ancient histories while revealing their layered complexities. These advancements breathe life into Lovelock's enigmas, ensuring that its stories remain intact and accessible. The interplay of technology and preservation enables these secrets to emerge with precision, safeguarding their integrity and fostering a deeper appreciation for what they reveal about human legacy. In reflecting on Lovelock Cave's narrative, we understand this site as a pivotal intersection, a meeting point of stories, both historical and speculative. As we untangle credible research from embellishment, we must navigate the spectrum between public fascination and scholarly rigor. Each facet of the cave's mystery is an invitation to wonder, to examine myths as cultural beacons that illuminate paths towards discovering who we were and who we might still become. In our closing reflection, Lovelock Cave speaks to the enduring allure of the unknown. As humans, we remain irresistibly drawn to the mysteries that rest just beyond our reach, intrigued by stories of what once was and might have been. The persistent whisper of Lovelock's red-haired giants and their hidden companions invites us to embark upon a transcendental journey, a beckoning towards the infinite through the gates of time and imagination. In the Whispering Hills near Jerusalem, beneath layers of ancient dust and dreams, nestled a discovery that resonated through time like a soft chant carried by the wind. In 1979, archaeologist Gabriel Barkay led his team into this earthen embrace and emerged with a treasure, not of gold or jewels, but of whispered secrets etched in silver. The silver scrolls, shimmering with the light of unspoken truths, were unrolled with the gentleness one reserves for awakening a sleeping soul. The scrolls captivated hearts and minds, offering glimpses into a past that seemed to spiral just beyond the well-trod paths of recorded history. These scrolls, delicately rolled amulets, bore deep inscriptions in archaic Hebrew that hummed with mystery, echoing the incantations and blessings of an era lost to the ravages of time. They resurrected voices long buried, words that shimmered with the vitality of ancient prayers. As conservators and scholars gently coaxed these silvery slivers of history to reveal their secrets, the implications of their capacity to predate known biblical texts sent ripples through the realms of historical and theological discourse. These resonating discoveries challenged the chronology of scriptural development, inviting scholars to dance between certainties and the unfolding mysteries of the past. As the inscriptions unfolded, they guided scholars through a labyrinth of language and symbolism. The text revealed phrases that could have been whispered, incantations meant to protect those who once carried them, a spiritual bond unbroken by centuries. These scrolls, possibly belonging to the 7th century BCE, whispered of a tradition more complex, more ancient than previously imagined, inviting reflections about the ancestries of Revelation. Was this an early shadow of the Hebrew Bible, or perhaps an echo of a deeper spiritual lineage that serves as the bedrock of faith? To truly savor the taste of these revelations, one needs a palate unspoiled by urgency. Imagine the 7th century BCE Judea, where these scrolls found their first voices, an ancient landscape shaped by both isolation and exchange. The Judean people, positioned at a crossroads of culture, would have felt the push and pull of empires like Assyria and Babylon, swirling opposing forces that would leave their marks upon the land and spirit. Amid such forces, these amulets were not just relics, but living reminders, objects of faith in an uncertain world, charming whispers of assurance carried close to the heart. The role of amulets like these cannot be understated within ancient societies. They are a glimpse into souls once alive with devotion, embodying the mysticism of people tethered between mortal life and divine protection. Etched in spells or sacred blessings, the words on these scrolls connote an intimacy with the divine, a hope for whisperings granted and troubles kept at bay. Wearing these amulets, individuals long past found a tangible connection to transcendence, an intersection of faith and daily life, as potent thousands of years ago as they remain today. Yet, these amulets were also keys to revising our own understanding of sacred writings. How do these scrolls, predating our canonized texts, alter the conventional timelines of biblical writings? They are questions carved into the silver that prompt theologians to reflect on how divine words have wandered across time and how the tapestries of Revelation are woven. As these scrolls whisper their secrets, they prompt a renewed dialogue between history and faith, inspiring reflections on how we view deific narratives preserved through centuries, echoing new possibilities. Engraving each blessing onto thin silver sheets spoke of a craftsmanship that mirrors devotion. Consider those artisans whose delicate work required dexterity and a deep understanding of faith, their hands weaving spirituality into metal. The scroll's existence is a tribute to these ancients, sophisticated artists whose work blends faith, skill, and the sacred. Each line figured upon the silver is a prayer in itself, a historic moment captured in precious metal, a time when art becomes medium and message, offering today a silent testimony of a union between sacred devotion and artistry. Yet preserving these fragile metallic whispers of history is indeed akin to safeguarding a breath on a winter's night. The age and frailty of the scrolls threatened them with the specter of decay. Modern methods had to be crafted with harmonic care to preserve without touching. Decisions like notes in a ballad of history. Digital technologies and non-invasive techniques emerged as bridges between eras, allowing scholars to read the past while ensuring no mortal hand would silence these voices forever. This dance between preservation and discovery serves as a reminder of the partnership of past and present, as essential now as the scrolls are to tradition. These silver scrolls are not vigilantes of history standing alone beneath the old Judean sun. Consider the Dead Sea Scrolls, whose narratives provide shaded canvases for comparisons that illuminate the unique significance of these Jerusalem finds. Together, these texts weave into a broader tapestry, a mosaic of understanding about ancient peoples and their divine dialogues, each finding a stripe in a greater human story yet captured. These finds, though rooted in ancient silence, have stirred a chorus of debate in scholarly halls. For some, these scrolls speak a revolution of unprecedented ideas, rewriting the narrative of how sacred texts blossomed. For others, skepticism beckons, caution urging corroboration through evidence more widespread. Yet such debates reverently highlight the sacred dynamism in which we weave our stories, allowing the exploration of beliefs to flourish and elegantly shadow the borders of certainty. While basking under academic eyes, these silver scrolls also open windows for reflection, allowing echoes of ancient faith practices to ripple through modern spiritual discourse. They are a gentle reminder that in contemplating our ancients, we too may discover a steadfastness that unites us across time's divide. Through these symbols etched upon silver, we might find our own resonances, our own reflections that transcend generations, bridging past faith to current hearts. As the sun rises over the Jerusalem hills, these scrolls take witness to a world once alive with divine promise. The archaeological context of their discovery unravels a world fertile with narrative and revelation. A context that paints the Holy Land as a place silently teeming with stories and artifacts. Layered with history and discovery, archaeologists draw these stories from the earth, like extracting a song, translating past lives into new dawns. Central to this narrative stands Gabriel Barquet, the figure whose hands drew forth these artifacts. His work as an archaeologist transcends mere discovery. He crafts narratives, piecing together voices, allowing artifacts to chant their own stories of ancient times full of wonder. Barquet, through his methodology and vision, brings to life these voices, helping us to listen, to care, to understand that these silent melodies of bygone worlds matter. The Silver Scrolls are not mere fodder for academic libraries, but choruses sparking cultural fires beyond the halls of learning. They reach broader avenues, serving as gateways for curiosity, engaging public imagination with tales of mysterious ancient rites and the compelling continuity of belief that binds humanity. Museums and media alike echo these songs, enticing our shared heritage into being, reminding us all of these roots transcending the soil from which they rise. Silver itself, chosen as the medium for inscription, was not happenstanced. It reflects purity, wealth, and spiritual promise. In choosing such material, the ancients entrusted their faith into the metal's sparkling embrace, furthering their incantation's power. This selection, seeming simple, resonates with the metaphorical and real craftsmanship that underscores the depths of ancient beliefs. Between the intersections of faith and science, the Silver Scrolls hold their meaning, speaking to collaboration and knowledge, divine and human. These connections engage a vibrant dialogue between belief and evidence, offering the willing a fertile ground to explore mysteries unexplained, evoking patience and reverence like an alchemist slowly stirring the cauldron of time's vast abyss. Their inscriptions advance linguistic analysis, allowing language to craft its tales of evolution and change. Through the ages, Hebrew's syllables and syntax bloom and falter, and with each deciphered text comes a greater appreciation for this linguistic journey. A pathway across deserts of silence and orchards of revelation that bore words sacred and profane into being. Understanding archaeology as a garden of discoveries and public engagement, these scrolls stand as partial blooms, bridges drawing the wider audience into this dance of revelations cherished. Curiosity invites a sojourn through time, public engagement efforts coaxing interest across society, inviting individuals into the shared narrative of humanity's weaving. Inspiration feeds gently from these silver-lined pages onto the palettes of artists and thinkers today. These scrolls elevate the discussion beyond the sphere of earthly text, inviting new art forms, new questions, asking how ancient voices may come alive upon contemporary stages, singing of history's wonder to leading roles past. Yet the vibrant song of archaeology must strive beyond itself, towards ethical awareness. With a delicate serenade, archaeology must offer respect for custodianship beyond artifacts' simplicity. Voices, sacred and interwoven within communities who, like the scrolls themselves, whisper across the times that connect us all. The legacy of these scrolls poses not only lessons from an ancient world, but also a modern duty, urging the field forward. Interdisciplinary work blossoms from this history-laden garden, where linguists and theologians, archaeologists and scientists together set forth upon grounds still to discover. Through combined efforts, they spin stories more profound, led by the whispers of engravings etched in aged silver, offering both deeply rooted humanity and collaborative hope. Finally, the silver scrolls leave us contemplating the relevance of ancient wisdom. They lead us to reflections of spiritual kinship over millennia, as we ponder the ways in which these whispers from antiquity may inspire contemporary life. This vision, as gentle as a hymn at dusk, weaves us into its great and ceaseless melodic dance across time, as echoes of the past call us forward in harmony with our own unfolding stories. In the heart of the arid expanse known as the Tarim Basin, nestled within the folds of northwest China's rugged terrain, lies a profound mystery, one that has captivated the minds and imaginations of those daring enough to traverse its desolate landscapes. This land, where the unforgiving desert sun scorches the earth and the winds whisper secrets from across time, has preserved echoes of ancient travelers, hints of journeys long forgotten. It is here, amidst the shifting sands, that explorers unearthed a series of remarkably preserved mummies, strange, enigmatic figures whose pallor and features seemed to straddle continents and epochs. These mummies, discovered in the early whispers of the 20th century, possess a visage that seems incongruous with the Asian setting to which they belong. Their fair hair and elongated statures tell tales of other places, distant lands, and forgotten faces. As archaeologists and historians began to unravel their presence, these figures brought forth questions that challenged the very threads of history as we know it. The Tarim mummies, with their distinctly European features, ignited debates and sowed seeds of curiosity that stretched far beyond the realm of conventional understanding. In this desolate junction of history, The silence of the desert belies its rich tapestry of interaction, where merchants once traded not only in material goods, but in the ethereal currency of ideas and cultures. Amongst the arid horizon, the Tarim mummies introduced an unexpected chapter, entwined with fair hair and woven textiles reminiscent of ancient Caucasian styles. Their presence seems to echo whispers of a forgotten era, a narrative of cultural fusion and lost settlements amidst Asia's vastness. Delving into the sand's embrace, the discoverers met with preservation astonishing in its lucidity. The remains, mummified and protected by aridity, emerged as portals into another time. Skin, hair, and clothing survived the ages, providing a tangible thread to an era otherwise obscured. The arduous task faced by explorers such as Sven Hedin and Aurel Stein was not merely that of unearthing artifacts, but of piecing together lives and journeys suspended in the silence of millennia. These mummified figures offered more than curiosity. They held keys to understanding ancient migrations, a testament to human resilience and complexity amidst nature's desolations. With each sepulchre reopened, the buried secrets of a forgotten frontier hinted at a tapestry woven from diverse threads. Were these mummies temporary travelers blown off course, or remnants of a settled community cradled within the desert's folds? As scholars and sages fervently study this puzzle, their interplay of genetic data and shifting sands unravels fragments of our shared human voyage. In the swirling mists of speculation, the entangled ancestry of these figures emerges as one of the most tantalizing riddles. Their deeply set eyes and high cheekbones, coupled with the spectral pallor of light hair and fair skin, speak a language unaligned with their place in the spectrum of history. The possibility arises that they bear links to ancient Indo-European cultures, casting their presence as part of an intricate web of migration and interaction far more nuanced than history textbooks had foretold. Such revelations prompt a reevaluation of the storied Silk Road, transforming it from a mere conduit of goods into a living bridge of peoples and points of convergence. The European-like features of the mummies stand as testament to the fluidity of identity, a poignant reminder of the porous nature of ancient borders, long before nation-states and frontiers drew rigid lines upon the Earth's surface. In the quiet tombs, remnants of fabric speak in muted tones, echoing artistry from distant horizons. These textiles, woven with care and dyed in vibrant hues, resemble patterns traced back to Europe and the Bronze Age Caucasus. Are these artifacts evidence of an exchange or local craftsmanship, or do they hint at a cultural identity carried from afar and lovingly preserved? Through the tactile language of fabric and dye, intertwined stories emerge of routes traveled and cultures intertwined. These woven threads whisper of the bustling marketplaces of the Silk Road, where ideas mingled and artistry thrived. The tales embedded in these textiles invoke a journey through warp and weft, guiding the curious toward a broader comprehension of the intangible heritage carried along the ancient trails. The ever-advancing methodology of modern science has not remained untouched by the allure of the Tarim Basin's riddles. DNA analysis casts further light on the genetic tapestry of the mummies, affirming that their lineage drums a beat most frequently danced to in distant Western Eurasian lands. However, the full saga of their journey, whether through the call of wanderlust or the whispers of destiny, remains just beyond the horizon of understanding. Their sojourn hints at an odyssey that stretches the very fabric of known history, a chronicle of migrations echoing across the rise and fall of epochs. The genetic map drawn by these ancient remains is more than mere ancestral chart. It offers a portrait of movement, tracing footsteps, charting millennia. It speaks of deliberate voyaging and serendipitous detours whose paths converge in the Tarim sands, an enduring testament to our nomadic forebears' resilience. Yet this is not merely the story of genetic traits, but of lives entwined with the desert, a community cradled by the Tarim Basin, a region that shaped them as they in turn carved their existence into its harsh contours. Within this desolate land, archaeologists decipher whispers of a populace that thrived through resilience, cultivating fields and rearing livestock to weave a self-contained microcosm of vibrant life amidst the sand. Nurtured by agriculture and animal husbandry, their society bore the marks of ingenuity and innovation. They harnessed the desert's sparse bounty, employing irrigation to transform barren landscapes into sowed fields, cultivating both crops and civilization under the watchful eye of harsh sun and scornful wind. Through this intricate dance with the environment, they showcased humanity's eternal tenacity and the capacity to flourish even on nature's most unforgiving stage. Amidst these storied lives is the complex web of migratory theories that seek to explain their origins. Perhaps they were descendants of the Tocharian-speaking Indo-Europeans who ventured eastward from the steppes of Ukraine and southern Russia, their nascent language and distinct features carried like treasures through every new horizon. Or perhaps they found themselves among the disparate souls swept into motion by the Bronze Age collapse, refugees in search of new homes beyond the turmoil of Mesopotamia, where eastward and westward migrations found solace in their confluence in the Tarim Basin. Each hypothesis contributes depth to this ancient tapestry, invoking images of travelers negotiating the Silk Road's serpentine stretch, exchanging not only silks and spices, but also folklore and philosophies. Through these narratives, the Tarim mummies beckon as silent guardians of a complex mosaic, a historical weave sewn with migrations that transcend the limitations of time and space. These ancient wanderers did not traverse their world alone. Their interactions with indigenous populations left an indelible mark on the fabric of the region's history. Evidence found in pottery shards, burial customs, and genetic markers tells of an entwined existence. Cultural and corporeal interactions bonding over the centuries to birth a new society. Trade, marriage, and technological exchanges enriched both the outsider and the native, forging a region defined not by division, but by confluence. This exchange transcends mere barter. It reflects the elegant dance of coexistence, a testament to the enduring human spirit's ability to evolve and unite. Through shared stories and art that defies distance, this synthesis showcases humanity's capacity for transformation, weaving a narrative where mutual enrichment nourishes a civilization vast and inclusive. Beyond tales of desolate horizons and caravans lies the profound connection along the Silk Road, the artery through which the life of many civilizations pulsed, bearing not only material wealth, but the intangible blessings of cultural interaction. The Tarim Basin, strategically ensconced along this route, became a beacon of exchange, its isolated oases welcoming merchants and mystics alike. Here, the mummies witnessed the vibrant atmosphere spun from these trade constellations, an affirming ground where ideas found fertile soil to thrive and grow. Amidst the sands, artifacts whisper tales of connections and trade, a potpourri of imported odors and colors that evoke images of bustling souks and crowded hearths. The crosscurrents of commerce fostered innovation and contributed to a rich cultural stew, culminating in a legacy where prosperity and communication were intertwined. To walk the shifting sands of the basin, is to traverse the bustling threads that unite humanity in ventures myriad and diverse, painting a portrait of collective history in an unbroken canvas of collaboration. Among the remains are the botanical stories of a life marked by perseverance and adaptation. Pollen samples and seed remnants unearthed by the mummy's sides tell an intricate story of agrarian existence, cultivated with care and ancient knowledge. Wheat and barley stand as mute witnesses to a landscape cultivated with Western influences, introduced perhaps by wandering souls in search of fertile tracts. In this space of sacred cultivation, ingenious methods reveal a society thriving on the edge of survival, using irrigation to channel disparate water sources, ensuring sustenance in a harsh, unyielding world. The sweat of these early cultivators irrigated more than seeds. It fostered a way of life and a testament to resources honed and preserved through innovation. Their agricultural mastery unfolds as an essential element in understanding the enduring strength of settlements amid desolation, illustrating profound human adaptability in the face of nature's formidable challenges. Deep within the remnants of Tarim lies the spiritual embrace of belief, captivated through devotion and ritual, where the mists of faith transcend time and space. This metaphysical aspect reveals shamanistic echoes, mysteries whispered by amulets and idols left by those who sought connection to worlds unseen. Here, ancestors were honored, and syncretic practices flourished as pathways to understand the spiritual and metaphysical depths. These spiritual traditions were not isolated, but intricately woven into the vibrant cloth of the Silk Road, foundations along which rituals incorporated and were enriched by foreign customs. Through examining these practices, spawned by travelers' tales and profound yearning, arises an understanding of how human beings seek meaning, transcending physical realms and planting roots that both touch the skies and dive into the earth. The afterlife held profound significance for those resting within Tarim, their burial customs reflecting a deep reverence for life's continuum beyond the corporeal. Unlike roving nomadic graves, these burials appear richly adorned, testament to complex societal imaginaries that prized significant regard for transitions into eternal domains. Such resting places served not simply as graves, but as sanctuaries for the departed, each artifact emplaced with purpose and spirit. Textiles, pottery, and cherished personal items were companions for journeys yet untold, revealing a substantive belief in the journey beyond, where afterlife reverberates, infinite and resolute. These customs transform into a lens revealing a people confident in spiritual existence beyond corporeal realms, their respect enduring past the veil of mortality. Running through this tale is the haunting impact of the environment, an agent both of preservation and a keeper of sentinel secrets. The arid climate preserved these mummified remains in exquisitely ethereal slumber, an eternal moment captured in saline whispers and starlit sighs. They emerge from their sandy graves not merely as remnants of a prior age, but as poignant reminders of the interplay between nature's tenacity and humanity's ebbing echoes. Yet, such extraordinary preservation demands delicate stewardship, guiding future generations toward these ancestral echoes. The custodianship of these artifacts involves a delicate ballet of conservation and exploration, carefully unlocking stories while ensuring they endure. As modern voices ponder antiquity, the tender dynamics of cultural sensitivity weave through the corridors of discovery. These remains, cherished far beyond their ancient repose, touch chords embedded into the rich fabric of modern identities. The mummy's story is part of a larger narrative, where acceptance and understanding foster mutual acknowledgement and shared stewardship of history's legacies. In seeking out connections to the past, the dialogue between cultures widens, revealing surprising intersections where divergent narratives entwine. Collaboration fosters community, strengthening the bridges between past and future, inviting all to partake in humanity's shared voyage. Interpreting the complex tapestry of Tarim Basin's past is a journey through enigma and ambiguity, where eloquent silence resonates yet defies simple explanation. Bereft of comprehensive written records, scholars must reconstruct histories from fragmented echoes, a testament to piecing together whispers left adrift. Yearning for truth, researchers embrace the pursuit, traversing the void of history for clues to chart a coherent narrative. Despite embracing the uncertainties and contradictions inherent in such undertakings, they further illuminate the elusive and inspiring odyssey of continued knowledge, a journey to weave meaning from the looms of uncertainty. The Tarim mummies continue to whisper through time, their secrets and stories unraveled in new light thanks to the evolving power of technology. With advances in archaeology and anthropology, new revelations surface from genetic sequences, isotopic insights, and ancient DNA muddled through sans memories. The discipline's dialogue deepens, presenting an artful dance between scientific inquiry and historical imagination. These methods lift the past from shadows, crafting new narratives that dispense with old certainty while carving fresh pathways into the unknown. Their stories bear testament to the pursuit of knowledge, inviting transmundane whispers to commune with those poised in reverent curiosity. A quest for discovery that binds minds across ages. As cultural exchange and ritual practice unite in a mosaic across time, the echoes of the Tarim Basin reverberate through ritual and the repetition of ceremonies spun from the threads of shared human narrative. These artifacts illuminate our understanding of human flow, showcasing the adaptability and evolution of mythical traditions across borders and epochs. Through their centuries-spanning rituals, the Tarim mummies offer clarity on how syncretic practices fortify human bonds and enrich spiritual lives. Perhaps more than tangible memories, these traditions echo through time, embodying the soul of cultural memory, a shared chorus whose refrains knit generations into the eternal embrace of history. In the end, as the saga of the Tarim mummies unfolds, its whispers linger on the edges of language, a haunting resonance molded by words ancient and forgotten. Interdisciplinary dialogues breathe life into long-lost tongues, drawing linguistic connections that bridge souls across the epochs. From hybrid scripts and whispered vocabularies emerge links to the Tocharian language, a portal through which esoteric interactions illuminate symphonic patterns of human expression. In this harmony of words, the language of past footsteps echoes, embodying their journeys, entwining identity with expression, a bridge across eras, a bond between voice and the stories it breathes. Each scripted nuance, be it traced from passion or wanderlust, interconnects us in a continuum, preserving the lineage of voices that once peregrinated this shared path of human history. Deep within the serene, jade shadows of Guatemala's verdant jungle lies the ancient city of El Peru Huaca. Veiled in emerald mystery, this historical gem of the Mayan civilization whispers secrets long caught between the dense canopy above and the fertile soil below. The year is 1994, and the world of archaeology braces for revelations beneath the jungle's embrace. where time ceases its relentless march to cradle the ancient echoes of a civilization that flourished in surreal brilliance. Dr. David Friedel, a Guatemalan archaeologist leading an intrepid team, descends upon these sylvan trails, intent on illuminating the chronicles of the royal lineage that once governed this storied metropolis. With measured breaths and hearts acquainted with anticipation, they unveil the tomb of an unknown Mayan queen. It is a discovery rife with opulence and enigma, invoking a reverence that time's sands have yet to erode. Here, amidst ancient stones murmuring forgotten tales, the sediment layers cradle treasures unparalleled, offering glimpses of a queen whose identity shimmers just beyond historical grasp. As the protective cloak of Earth is gently swept aside, the burial chamber emerges, a portal into Mayan mysticism, overflowing with jewels, obsidian blades, and hieroglyphic inscriptions. These artifacts are not mere relics but storytellers, whispering tales of power, divine connection, and rites transcending mortal understanding. One can almost hear the stones sighing, eager to tell the story of a queen whose realm flickered between life and death, between the mundane trappings of royalty and the world's boundless mystery. The queen's resting place, adorned yet silent, owes its discovery to the union of science and intuition. Underneath the ever-thickening threat of deforestation's march, archaeologists wield remote sensing and geophysical surveys, peering beneath the jungle floor to uncover humanity's ancient fingerprint left for curious minds to decipher. These contemporary methodologies allow researchers to traverse time's veil with minimal disturbance, honoring the sacred sanctity folded within Earth's embrace. With each careful brushstroke, as traditional tools reveal ancient secrets in gentle increments, the tomb's story unfolds with patience and precision. The meticulous presentation of artifacts, from the intricately woven jewelry to weaponry forged with careful hands, does not simply adorn the queen, but enriches the woven tapestry of Mayan civilization. Here, art and power meet with seamless elegance, painting an era's portrait where political influence mingles effortlessly with artistic mastery. The delicate scrutiny of carbon dating and modern microscopy combines to animate these once silent treasures, each telling a chapter of history infused with grace, daring scholars to expand the boundaries of what is known about this storied culture. Within the tomb, the queen's jewelry refracts not just light, but meaning. Jade stones whisper stories of spiritual prominence and royal divinity, each gem holding its place as though aligned with cosmic order. Symbols crafted in artistry's embrace serve not only as embellishments, but as manifest converters of earthly status into celestial narrative threads. Obsidian joins the tableau, blades honed to deadly art, shimmering with volcanic brilliance, suggesting roles not confined solely to warfare, but extending into sacred rites, where they act as conductors of the celestial chorus. The obsidian blades bear witness to an existence woven from both beauty and brutality. For the Maya, these sharp instruments were extensions of belief, bridging the mundane and divine. A duality dances here. Military might synonymous with ceremonial reverence. Each blade's elegance masks destruction's potential, each tool a link in the sacrosanct chain of rites, elevating them beyond mere utility to objects of cosmic resonance. Inscriptions, delicately etched in stone, guard the tomb's interior, daring explorers to unlock the mysteries dancing in carved symbols. Epigraphers and historians trail their fingers over these glyphic puzzles, each line captivating with its potential knowledge, echoing tales of dominion over mortal and celestial spheres. This queen, unknown by name, yet her presence resonant, appears not as ruler alone, but as intrepid intermediary, aligning the astral and earthly, guiding spiritual alignments within Mayan cosmology. Such inscriptions invite inquisitive minds into deeper contemplation. To decipher them demands not only fluency in language, but an empathetic understanding of the culture that bore them into existence. Line by line, the narrative of a woman whose influence bends across time speaks to a leader whose soul bridges dimensions, a portrait of power painted not in words or symbols alone, but in blood, sacrifice, and spiritual stewardship. Amidst the enthralling artifacts, whispers of the Queen's significant role within traversing death's shadowed terrain suggest rites wherein she might posthumously preside. Here, her tomb transcends mere burial, forming a necropolis where dialogues with the cosmos mark eternal importance. Offering goods are deliberate design, articulating beliefs of protection and cosmic guidance. As a conduit tethered between tangible worlds and the unknown, she is poised as an influencer of spiritual passage, escorting souls beyond and pleading for divine favor for those who remain. Through elaborate funerary practices, Mayan spiritual beliefs echoed life, reflecting earthly existence and celestial harmony. The regal authority of the Queen, woven through symbolic riches, hints at shared dominion in spiritual practices, allowing sacred duties to reflect feminine authority within a traditionally male-dominated sphere. Even the jewels whisper of realms beyond. Jade, revered as the stone of heaven, symbolizes life's promise and eternal motion, tying royal mortals to celestial cycles. Each adornment extends her influence beyond temporal constriction, guiding her in an elegantly choreographed rebirth. Diamonds or turquoise tell of star-laden maps for her eternal journey, marking not simply regency in life, but elevation into cosmic narrative upon death. The eternal mystique of El Peru Huaca, submerged in its impossibly dense greenery, becomes an emblem of Mayan continuity, revealing the singular themes of creation and order that whisper through tree canopies and sing from crystalline streams. This queen, sovereign and spectral, becomes a key to understanding the interaction of mysticism and tangible existence, her legacy a resonance in star charts and spoken tales as Mayan lore folds seamlessly into today's cosmic reflection. The broader vision of Mayan cosmogony emerges as an architecture of queenship entwined with myth and astrological ballet. Here, the celestial rites of rule illuminate the divine favor conferred upon queens whose earthly governance draws from starry lore. Symbols within the tomb speak of these beliefs, forging narratives from heavenly alignments, revealing a world where myth strengthens bloodline and confirms legitimacy, where power arose not only from terrestrial inheritance, but celestial inextricability. In this grand framework of Mayan heritage, queens live as embodiments of the cosmos, their stories shifting between shadow and light, cycle and creation, as influential on human courses as the stars they mirrored. For this queen's lifetime was not merely temporal, it unspooled into auroral legend, her role as celestial arbitrator offering a lesson in governance that extends beyond earthbound understanding. To access the tales born on artifacts from El Peru Huaca is to breathe life into history through an interdisciplinary communion of modern knowledge and ancient complexity. Archaeologists, anthropologists, linguists, and scientists entwine their expertise to decipher each relic's story. Each tool, a lens into the past, capitalizes on modern advances. Beyond being mere artifacts, each treasure encapsulates the queen's spirit and weaves wordless wisdom. The collaboration between disciplines ensures accuracy in a grand mosaic, where each piece shines with potential knowledge and narrative depth. Modern technologies such as carbon dating and DNA analysis unravel secrets of both tomb and inhabitant, affording clarity regarding identity, lineage, and societal placement. Each discipline's focus contributes uniquely to understanding a civilization where nature and time formed a lattice for human expression. The city, near silent beneath both sun and moon, extends an invitation for thought, encouraging one to explore the mystical lure of Mayan achievement. El Peru Huaca, despite being eclipsed by more illustrious cities, carves a niche in history that resonates through intrigue. With its ruins beckoning scholars and dreamers alike, it heralds an understanding steeped in aesthetics as much as history. Here, 1,000 whispers of bygone glories curl within vine-wrapped stones, evoking awe. By underlining the relationship between the terrestrial and celestial, the merging of belief and knowledge, the Queen's tomb remains a testament to humanity's quest for understanding. An entry to these beckoning whispers coaxes soul and mind into an indulgent dance of reflection, wrapping visitors in the enigmatic embrace of what was and forever shall be. In the heart of ancient Egypt, where the whispers of the Nile trace their fingers through the ages, the site of Tel el-Daba reveals a chapter steeped in enigma and time-worn mystery. Once the bustling city of Avaris, capital of the enigmatic Hyksos, this location cradles secrets that the winds of history have gently eroded, yet preserved. It was in the hushed silence of this place that archaeologists, probing the layers of history's sand in the late 20th century, stumbled upon a macabre discovery: a pit filled solely with severed right hands. To the untrained eye, this gruesome spectacle might appear as an isolated occurrence, a mere curiosity to be studied and shelved away. Yet, to those who listen deeply, it is a puzzle piece in the vast tapestry of ancient Egyptian rituals, an artifact that speaks of unseen forces and ancient cultures steeped in ritualistic fervor and perhaps untold violence. Why severed hands, one might ask, as echoes of speculations dance in the mind like shadows conjured by flickering torchlight. This find offers more questions than it does answers, and opens doors into a world simultaneously familiar and alien. Were these hands tokens of powerful ritual offerings, symbols of authority taken by force, or perhaps trophies of dominance in an era marked by turbulent transitions? Each possible answer deepens the fog of intrigue around the people who once walked these lands and unveils fractured insights into their lives, woven with mystery, yet robed in a veil of reverence and awe. The Hyksos era in Egypt, a tapestry woven with threads of enigma and significance, beckons us deeper. Around the 17th century BCE, the Hyksos, a Semitic people, rose to prominence in northern Egypt, bringing with them powers that shaped a civilization. Their capital, the vibrant city of Avaris, thrived under their rule, becoming an epicenter of cultural and commercial exchange. These foreign rulers embossed their profound influence onto Egyptian civilization, merging practices and technologies in ways both mysterious and enlightening. For despite their vilification in later Egyptian records as invaders, their long-term influence cannot be erased, lingering in the whispers of architecture, craft, and ritual. Here, within the Hyksos reign, the context for the severed hands emerges, a society in flux, one characterized by military prowess and cultural diversity, offering secrets not easily deciphered, yet urging inquiry into a period ripe with complexity and change. Delving into the archaeological evidence from Tel El Daba, we glimpse fragmented yet compelling images of an ancient world. The desert sands, in their timeless embrace, preserved the severed hands, remarkably large, likely those of adult males. Their alignment within a ceremonial pit suggests a ritual endowed with solemnity and purpose. By employing carbon dating and examining surrounding artifacts, researchers attempt to pin these relics to a specific time frame within the Hyksos dominion. Beyond mere historical context, these hands whisper of a deeper cultural and spiritual presence, inviting forensic inquiry into the life and death of those they memorialize. How were the hands severed? Were the hands those of foes vanquished in battle? Or did they belong to criminals whose transgressions disqualified them from a complete burial? Each nuance adds texture to this mystery, emphasizing the essential alliance between archaeology and anthropology in revealing stories etched into the ancient earth. As the sands of thought shift beneath our feet, one theory gathers its grains into form: the notion that these severed hands served as ritual sacrifices. Among ancient civilizations, such sacrifices were offerings to appease unseen deities or to commemorate significant events. Ethnographic parallels suggest that the hands could symbolize submission, punishment, or trophies seized in the heat of war. Within these bounds, the handing over of right hands may reflect an offering of dominance, a gesture potent with the power of an era defined by martial society. If indeed these hands were sacrificial, they echo with the rhythms of ancient spiritual and societal structures, seeking divine reconciliation or celebrating victory's bounty. A testament to the intertwined fates of mortals and gods, much like the sacrifices documented in Mayan, Aztec, and African traditions. In the subtle dance of symbolism, the right hand emerges as an emblem of authority, oath, and strength, an enduring cipher in the annals of human history. Across many cultures, the severance of the right hand looms large as a symbolic act. Among the ancients, it was an embodiment of justice, power, and legitimacy. In Egyptian lore, the right hand held sacred value, invoked within texts and ceremonies to signify action and virtue. The act of removing the right hand, then, could signify a profound societal shift, the humiliation of conquered enemies, or a selfless offering bound by oaths of allegiance. As we explore the layers of textual and cultural records, a rich panorama unfolds. It tells of an object once breathed with life, motion, and divinity, now transformed by ancient rites into a spiritual monument of revelation. Against this backdrop, the theory of trophy-taking commands our attention, for warfare cast its vast shadow across the ancient Egyptian landscape. In that age, rulers often kept trophies as visible reminders of their prowess. Severed hands, historically documented markers of enemies vanquished, speak of dominion and authority. As symbols of triumph, they were perhaps more than simple remnants of battle. They were artifacts that anchored societal morale and political reality within a complex epoch. Seen as offerings of some kind, these hands might have stood as tokens in cultural ceremonies, a tangible link between the earthly and divine, weaving a narrative of warfare's ritual and its undeniable universal presence across history. Peering into the heart of Egypt's sacred geography, the placement of the pit at Tel El Daba evokes a landscape imbued with ritual purpose. The sands bore witness to numerous sanctuaries dedicated to gods, ancestors, and forces beyond the human grasp. These spaces channeled energies both sacred and profane, forged by ceremonies that reached beyond mortal ken. Could the pit of hands reflect such sanctity? serving as a hallowed ground where corporeal acts were performed to commune with divine mysteries. Within this widened perspective, an evolution of thought arises, recalling the ancient temples and altars that acted as gates through which divine magic threaded itself into the earthly realm. Here, the presence of hands grounds spiritual energies into the fabric of reality, reminding us of ancient aspirations to command the ineffable. Looking outward, the echoes of similar practices resound across the ancient world, weaving a cosmic telegraph of ritual behavior. Across the Americas, Asia, and beyond, similar practices took root, from the sacrificial elements of Mayan and Aztec rituals to the head-taking traditions of ancient Celtic tribes. These practices illuminate the human quest to understand, to influence, to transcend mystery with ceremony and symbolic acts. In Tel el-Daba, we encounter not an isolated phenomenon, but a link within a broader continuum, an expression of humanity's desire to comprehend and negotiate the unfathomable. Through shared rites and cosmic ceremonies, communities across geography and time etched identity, power, and justice into the ever-turning wheel of chaos. Indeed, the ritual of severed hands extends beyond spiritual realms, for socio-political currents entwine seamlessly with the spiritual tide. In stratified societies such as ancient Egypt's, ceremonial practices were reflections of the socio-political climate, mirrors of prestige, victory, and territorial claims. The ceremonial preservation of hands ensured the memory of power and dominance outlasted the generations, simultaneously a mark of triumph and a warning cloaked in ritual. Through this act, those in power made indelible their presence, their authority, ensuring it was carried forth as testament and narrative to those then present and to posterity's gaze. Art and literature, too, bear witness to the resounding significance of the hand in ancient Egyptian culture. Through finely carved sculptures and vivid paintings, the hand took on the symbology of creation and destruction, divine authority manifest in earthly forms. Pharaohs and deities were often immortalized in these works with dominant right hands, gestures both blessing and controlling. Written records, inscribed onto papyrus or etched into stones, further highlight the hand's role in expressing action and ritual, capturing the essence of the cultural ethos and society's prevailing spirit in rich layers of artistic narrative and myth. Within the sacred choreography of ceremony, priests and ritual specialists assumed a pivotal role. As intermediaries with the supernatural, they carried the mantle of interpretation and execution of divine will. It is plausible to envision these hands as offerings, aligned under clerical oversight, a ritual performed with precision by those initiated into mystical knowledge. Reverberations of their influence linger within fabrics, artifacts, and iconography, casting light on the complex spiritual frameworks choreographed by devoted practitioners, a communication transcendental, spanning cultures and epochs. Emergent from these shadows is a theory that finds form in the interplay of power and ceremony, a display of authoritative might. Through poignant symbolism, rulers may have utilized the severed hands to visually assert dominance over subjugated or rebellious entities, a tactile narrative infusing the soil with echoes of supremacy. In this interpretation, the hands serve as corporeal markers of deterrence, warning, and cautioning through dramatic symbolic gestures. These displays reinforce the inherent balance of fear and reverence, forming a power narrative that echoes through history's corridors. The notion of communication with the divine threads through this narrative's tapestry, each hand an offering to the gods. As votive rituals found in myriad cultures suggest, sacrifices created sacred compacts bridging mortal and celestial realms. In offering hands, ancient Egyptians may have laid bare their souls, entering communion with the divine, a gesture of humility and reverence amidst life's mysteries. In this light, Tel El Daba becomes a spiritual fulcrum, a place where rituals enhance divine comprehension, uniting human frailty and spiritual gravitas beneath the desert's watchful stars. The economic and ritual spheres, woven as entwined vines, form another layer in understanding these hands. In Egypt's economic richness, rituals functioned within life cycles, celebrating, consecrating, and signifying rebirths. The act of offering hands may draw from this interplay, aligning with taboos of wealth expression and symbolic redistribution. Here, the severed hands transcend mere symbol, embodying an ethos where spiritual dimensions interlace with economic calculus, reflecting a cosmic order where material abundance and spiritual aspiration harmonize to craft an ancient legacy. Deep within the heart of the Theban necropolis rests Tomb TT 353, the final sanctuary of Senenmut, an architect whose genius transcended mere stone and mortar. A cherished advisor to Queen Hatshepsut, Senenmut's resting place is a portal into mysteries beyond the earthly and into the celestial. As one steps into this ancient chamber, dimly lit by flickering candlelight, a stunning vision unfolds, a star map etched into the ceiling, standing as a testament to the architect's fascination with the cosmos. This celestial chart, both a historical artifact and an enigmatic puzzle, challenges scholars today, provoking a sense of wonder and belonging akin to the awe felt by those who first gazed upon the heavens. Senenmut's tomb speaks in languages ancient and forgotten, its walls a narrative that intertwines history with the limitless cosmos. While pharaohs chose grandeur to immortalize dominion, Senenmut opted for a different kind of legacy, a commitment to the stars and the enigmas they harbor. The tomb's ceiling stands as a canvas reflecting not just the architect's mastery, but also his profound understanding of the universe. This monumental representation of the night sky provokes a cascade of questions. Was it a celestial map charting forgotten astral events, or a spiritual guide for the journey beyond death? To unlock these secrets, we must delve into the rich fabric of Egyptian astral traditions, where astronomy and spirituality were interwoven threads of a sacred tapestry. Senenmut rose from humble beginnings, forging a legacy that resonated through the columns of Deir el-Bahri and beyond. A man of vision, his life reflects a deep-seated passion for the intersections of the earthly and the celestial. Born in Armant, Senenmut's journey to prominence as a trusted confidant to Queen Hatshepsut is marked by significant achievements, each hinting at a mind captivated by the complexities of the cosmos. His life was not just about building structures, but about crafting a story that echoed in the stars, a narrative as intricate and elusive as the night sky itself. His relationship with Queen Hatshepsut, characterized by mutual respect and shared ambition, laid the groundwork for constructions that echoed celestial precision. Rumors of romance only add layers to their intertwined legacies. Together, they left a mark on the Egyptian landscape that merged the celestial with the terrestrial. Senenmut's work on the Queen's mortuary temple integrated astronomical elements, solar alignments, and shadow play that foretell the significance his star map would later embody. The starry ceiling of his tomb is the ultimate fusion of human endeavor and cosmic inspiration, symbolizing a legacy that transcends mere architecture to touch upon the sublime. As one descends into Tomb TT 353, The stone walls whisper secrets of a world unbound by time. Unlike the extravagant resting places of pharaohs, Senenmut's tomb is a quiet sanctuary, revealing its mysteries like a hidden melody. In its depths, the star map unfurls, a sweeping representation of the cosmos that invites contemplation of its creator's intellect and artistry. The very structure of TT-353, its simple entrance leading into vast corridors, mirrors the journey from earthly constraints to celestial wonder. The craftsmanship evokes awe, each symbol and constellation, a deliberate choreography of the heavens wrought in stone and paint. Within this sacred space, one cannot help but feel the profound serenity that permeates the chamber, a tranquility forged from the union of stone and starlight. Symbols and star patterns communicate in a language of silence, as if Senenmut himself whispers from eternity. Orion the hunter shines brightly, a testament to Osiris, the god of the afterlife, whose heavenly march across the sky both guides and guards souls through the mysteries of the afterlife. This alignment of stars was not mere decoration. It was a vision executed with precision and purpose, reflecting cosmic rhythms that shaped every aspect of ancient Egyptian life. In the heart of this tomb, a celestial dialogue plays out, a delicate balance of spiritual belief and astronomical insight. The cosmos, a divine spectacle in ancient Egyptian culture, was believed to reflect the stories of gods and the fates of men. Senenmut's star map transcends physical reality, painting a picture of a universe alive with meaning and intent. The map serves as both a spiritual compass and an enduring testimonial to a civilization that viewed the heavens not as distant or cold, but as an intimate realm, rich with symbolic resonance. Each constellation depicted in the star map carries its own mythological significance, mirroring sacred narratives that were both instructional and divine. To the ancient Egyptians, stars were eternal spirits, guardians emboldened by the night, guiding humanity through the cycles of life and beyond. Senenmut endowed these celestial tales with artistic and intellectual gravitas, embedding astronomical accuracy within cultural mythology. The renderings in his tomb intertwine constellations with earthly events, suggesting an ancient wisdom that perceived the universe as a harmonious blend of terrestrial and celestial forces. The Egyptians' prowess in astronomy is embodied in Senenmut's artful integration of these cosmic elements. Their calendars attuned to the movements of the heavens, they understood solstices and equinoxes with a precision that rivals modern knowledge. Senenmut's work presents evidence of this sophisticated tradition, his map a celestial manuscript whose insights remain relevant through ages. As modern science explores this ancient masterpiece, its interpretations bridge historical understanding with contemporary exploration. This artistic representation is not only a testament to the Egyptians' mastery of celestial mechanics, but also to their ability to intertwine astronomy with cultural and spiritual life. Senenmut's map reveals an understanding that navigated beyond spatial to spiritual realms. This cosmic harmony underpinned the functioning of Egyptian society, where the rhythm of the stars orchestrated everything from farming to ritualized ceremonies. Even today, the star map challenges modern interpretations of ancient knowledge, urging us to view history through a lens that fuses spirituality with empirical observation. Symbolism imbued in Senenmut's labor reflects the conviction that stars imparted guidance, a divine navigation for the soul's celestial voyage. These artworks transcend mere decoration, portraying mythology intertwined with celestial phenomena. The map echoes promises of renewal, a dance of rebirth and continuity played out against the eternal backdrop of the heavens. Under Senenmut's artistic hand, the interlacing stories of gods and constellations become immortalized, casting the tomb as a gateway to the stars and a timeless guide to the unknown. Senenmut's architectural genius was not confined to the realm of physical building. He applied the same precision and insight to his spiritual and astral endeavors. His star map stands as a supreme example of this synthesis, reflecting both the artistry and scientific understanding of an era that revered the stars as sacred instruments of guidance and knowledge. In this way, the tomb becomes a bridge between worlds, a cosmic alignment where architecture mirrors the grandeur of the night sky. Researchers continue to marvel at the profound implications of Senenmut's star map, interpreting its secrets through advanced technology and scholarly ingenuity. As they unveil forgotten alignments and celestial lore hidden within, Senenmut's map emerges as a testament to the ancient Egyptians' intellectual depth. Each new discovery adds light to an evolving discourse that continues to captivate the imaginations of astronomers and historians alike, a dialogue reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge is as infinite as the stars themselves. Modern science has empowered scholars to recreate the night sky through epochs long past, employing sophisticated tools to decipher hidden messages within Senenmut's map. This ongoing research not only enriches our understanding of ancient Egypt, but also amplifies our grasp of astronomy's historical trajectory. Today, as computer models simulate ancient cosmic movements, we find ourselves connected through vast temporal distances to Senenmut's artistic vision, navigating the ongoing interplay between ancient wisdom and current discovery. Under the celestial canvas painted by Senenmut, we hear the echoes of an ancient conversation that transcends time. A discussion that unites humanity's quest for meaning across millennia. The frequent gaze of modern stargazers couldn't be more connected to Senenmut's ambition. Each stroke in his masterpiece calls scholars and dreamers alike to participate in an ageless exploration, linking worlds through starlit poetry entwined with the dance of planets and tales immortalized by artistic fortune. This continuum invites us to contemplate the celestial legacy that remains vibrant and alive, an enduring testament to the connection between human endeavor and the cosmos. Senenmut's work serves as a beacon guiding us through the unknown, prompting reflection upon eternal questions shaped under the eternal sky. His star map enables us to reach for the wisdom encrypted in the night, as the stars continue to guide seekers of truths celestial and earthly alike, ensuring their resplendent lucidity endures. The story of Senenmut and his star map is not merely one of historic record, but of universal narrative and spiritual depth. Within this artistry lies a cosmic exploration of devotion and creativity, emphasizing that the aspirations of ancient minds have not dimmed through time. As modern technology crosses new thresholds of exploration, it does so with a legacy rooted in the starry visions of the past, a legacy that beckons us to dream alongside those who dared to see the universe in their small but significant part of the cosmos. Each enduring marvel within Senenmut's tomb stands as a tribute to the timeless quest for transcendence, a starry journey that echoes into the infinite. In the vast, arid expanse of Chile's Atacama Desert, where the whisper of the wind is often the sole companion to the sun-scorched earth, a remarkable discovery was uncovered in 2003 that seemed to bridge the very bounds of terrestrial understanding and celestial mystery. Amongst the desolate sands, near a deserted church in an abandoned ghost town, lay a tomb cradling the skeletal remains of a minuscule humanoid entity. This skeleton, barely 6 inches in length, held features that whispered of the extraordinary, a blend of familiar human traits and disturbingly otherworldly aspects, encapsulating a story of intrigue that spiraled into both scientific and metaphysical realms. Initially dubbed Ata, the tantalizing skeleton drew the eyes of anthropologists and geneticists, each trying to unravel its enigmatic origins. Its elongated skull, teeth that seemed matured far beyond its appearance, and open debates on its rib count, all hinted at a being caught between worlds. Every feature seemed to defy the ordinary, positioning Ata not as an isolated finding, but a potential relic echoing from the annals of forgotten history or distant galaxies. Could it be evidence of an age-old genetic experiment or evidence of life outside our known parameters? The conundrum it posed set forth waves of investigation, pulling investigative threads that wove into the very fabric of human origin stories and cosmic wonder. The Atacama Desert, a place of ancient secrets and scorching silence, provided a dramatic backdrop to this unfolding mystery. Despite its inhospitable facade, it has been a silent guardian of a rich tapestry of human history, sheltering secrets locked within petroglyphs, enigmatic mummies, and now this peculiar miniature skeleton. How could such a paradoxical object find its resting place here? The question invited us to peel back layers of time, contemplating the pre-Columbian civilizations that once thrived here, imbuing the barren landscape with tales of cultural exchange and mysterious rituals. As the desert's dust mingled with whispers from the past, it was easy to imagine how Ata might be woven into both the literal and esoteric radiance of ancient, bygone worlds. Legends from the local indigenous cultures breathed life into the enigma, offering narratives of celestial beings mingling with humans, speaking of epochs where the celestial and terrestrial merged in mutual exchange. Ata seemed to echo these stories, reminiscent of an ancient hybrid form or a celestial emissary bearing secrets. Was Ata a manifestation of these myths, a marker signaling deeper truths hidden within the folklore? Its proximity to a Catholic church also kindled speculation. Did this proximity indicate a confluence of faith, legacy, and the unknown, hinting at clandestine rites that mingled faith with the mysteries of the cosmos? An anatomical marvel in its own right, Ata challenged categorizations, evoking both wonder and disbelief. It mirrored a newborn human in its stature, yet, on close inspection, adorned features that announced a departure from the norm. Perhaps it was the singular appearance, from its elongated skulls reflecting not cultural tradition, but another narrative altogether, to the noticeable ossification that hinted at an age far outstripping first impressions. These deviations held up a mirror, reflecting upon both the known human spectrum and the deeply rooted mysteries of genetic deviations. With 10 ribs instead of 12, this peculiarity furthered the dialogue. Where did Ata belong in the wider spectrum of terrestrial and potential non-terrestrial existence? The presence of mature teeth within this petite framework added another layer of intrigue, a potential puzzle piece in an already confounding puzzle. Traditionally, such dental maturity is a hallmark of older age, not infancy. How could this be unless Ata existed within a paradigm where age itself danced to unfamiliar rhythms? Researchers were prompted to ponder possibilities beyond environmental anomalies, drawing upon scientific rigor to untangle a genetic web that whispered of extreme mutation. Was this skeleton an ancient witness to long-lost experimental ambition, or perhaps nature's own anomaly, shaped by the relentless forces of evolution's palette? In diving into Ata's genetic blueprint, scientists glimpsed deeper into the extraordinary. Initial DNA analysis drew a boundary. Ata was undeniably human, encased within the species' known genetic periphery. Yet it was the extreme mutations hinted within the genome that opened new doors, previously uncharted territories in the realm of genetic expression, manifesting in ways deeply curious and bewildering. These anomalies raised profound questions about genetic diversity and mutation, resonating with those who sought to broaden the boundaries of human genetic understanding. Here lay a narrative that spanned both isolated human evolution and a potential nexus of unknown environmental catalysts, urging a new contemplation over what defines human diversity. For staunch scientists, the phenomenon prompted a re-examination of rare genetic disorders alongside questions about how severe environmental extremes might sculpt physiological outcomes. Ata's stark deviations called attention to the pliable tapestry of life as it speeds upon the wheels of adaptability and survival, turning scientific curiosity toward the extremes of genetic possibility. Here, new avenues for research beckoned, offering a landscape where genetic ingenuity and environmental resilience interwove, presenting the chance to understand not just deviations, but also the flow of human evolution's intricate dance. Yet, amidst the methodological embrace of science, the allure of the unknown did not wane, further feeding fringe theories that danced alongside traditional inquiry. For those traversing the outer limits of scientific discourse, Ata epitomized a potential bridge to the unknown, tantalizing evidence of an ancient connection betwixt Earth and cosmic neighbors, spun from narratives entertained by parallel lines of thought regarding civilization's cosmic connections. Was Ata a celestial visitor, or perhaps a harbinger seeded from beyond the stars? Such thoughts embraced speculative grandeur, invoking whispers of panspermia, hybridization, and lost epochs. In religious and spiritual contemplations, Ata transformed into a focal point, a symbol touching upon divinity's grand tapestry. For some, Ata's unique existence served as a minute illustration of cosmic ingenuity, a multi-layered design born of divine intention, calling for reflection upon creation itself. The entwining of Ata's discovery with its place of rest near a religious edifice added a spiritual magnetism, stimulating speculation regarding ancient rites and celestial roles. Could Ata have been a part of sacred allegories, cherished or hidden within faith's timeless sanctuaries? Cultural perspectives brought forth interpretations as varied as they were profound, each echoing broader worldviews on identity and enduring narratives beyond mortality. To some, Ata represented a lost child, an entity whose presence was lovingly preserved by ancestors who recognized its significance. Other mystical narratives drew transplanetary parallels, suggesting Ata might be a dim link within the chain binding Earth to stellar hosts, all wrapped within cosmic mythos. Regardless of the frame, Ata's presence dwelled within the realm of cultural reflection, charting pathways into legends resonating with humanity's quest for existential meaning and cosmic connection. Complex ethical dialogues followed Ata's unveiling, navigating the balance between research curiosity and respectful stewardship. The bones, while scientific specimens, echoed within realms of cultural sanctity and anthropological ethics. As debates unfolded over ownership and ethical considerations surrounding historical artifacts, especially those hailing from marginalized communities, Ata became a symbol for balancing reverence with exploration, embodying ethical principles governing the rights of both individuals and cultural legacies. In this juncture, genetic investigations carried their ethical weight. Ata's genetic narrative posed questions regarding the utilization and treatment of unique genetic materials. emphasizing responsibility in handling ancient relics entwined with both cultural significance and bioethical explorations. Ata urged discernment, seeking understanding on how to navigate the converging paths of ancient mystery and modern scientific inquiry. The legacy of Ata wove threads through both the scientific community and the sprawling tapestry of speculative dialogue. For scientists, it represented an anchor into the understanding of genetic extremes, casting light upon human variation with eye-opening insights, extrapolating root causes underlying extremities. For adherents of fringe beliefs, Ata was a beacon that gestured toward the less trodden trails of conjecture-seeing life as part of a cosmic intersection with the universe's spheres beyond the visible stars. And thus, Ata doubled as a cultural emblem. Rather than an anomaly, it became a testament to human diversity and the manifold potential interwoven within humanity's coiling spiral of existence. Its presence urged reflection upon the vastness of human adaptability, the elegant warp and weft of genetics weaving within the expressive song of life. Ata was more than an isolated relic. It invoked the whispers of genetic echoes, challenging the perception of humanity's essence and encouraging the acceptance of each form gracing our world in its spectacular diversity. Nested within the Atacama's expansive desert, Ata remained a silent guardian of its age-old secrets amidst nature. The mysteries of the sands revealed not only antiquated stories and timeless art forms crafted through millennia, but also retained Ata's silent revelation, a signet issuing from an enigmatic tableau cherished by nature's hand. The desert, swathed in echoes of antiquity, sheltered a world where human ingenuity and environmental synchrony unraveled together, bringing into focus the majestic realm where Ata stood. And within the corridors of science, Ata's revelation cast insights upon biology's engaging extremities. In bearing witness to Ata's warped uniqueness, life's perseverance amid harsh realms offered a prism through which resilience could be examined. Ata stood as a bright spark, igniting waves of inquiry into life's adaptability amidst an existence straddling evolutive trials, carving narratives of understanding drawn from soul's dance of ingenuity upon Earth's tapestry, lifting scientific curiosity skywards toward unwritten chronicles awaiting a clarion call. Nevertheless, such endeavors navigated the ever-challenging domain of ancient genetic exploration, where meticulous scrutiny determined pathways to discovery. Ata's diminutive framework led scholars along intricate lines of inquiry, exposing genetic secrets buried within its skeletal architecture, emblems of a lineage held within the cradle of life. In striving to comprehend Ata's genetic complexities, geneticists painstakingly sought truth sprouting from Ata's diminutive form, revealing a multitude of unseen patterns emerging beneath the fathomless sands of history. Thus, Ata lingered as a nexus, infusing scientific observation with cultural consciousness and spiritual elation. In celebrating Ata, human variation was honored anew. Within the depths of genetic diversity lay infinite tales that life continues to weave, inspiring contemplations forged upon the balance of difference and the boundless potential residing at creation's heart, murmuring a layered narrative of existence laden with mysteries enduring beyond the shadows. In the tranquil summer of 1993, amidst the silence of the Altai Mountains, a tale long buried under layers of ice and earth began to unfold. A team of Russian archaeologists, guided by intuition and whispers of the winds, discovered a tomb beyond their wildest imaginings, a wooden chamber encased in permafrost. It was here, on the sacred Ukok Plateau, that they met the gaze of the Siberian princess, also known as the Ice Maiden, her eternal slumber preserved against time. This tomb, conceived in the distant 5th century BCE, was less of a grave and more a portal into the enigmatic world of the Scythians, a people whose stories weave through the haze of history with elusive grace. Beneath the ice, treasures of immeasurable worth lay cradled against the princess's sides, treasures that spoke of a nomadic life rich in culture and complexity. Adorned steeds, 6 in number, accompanied her, emissaries to the afterlife, each one a testament to the noble stature of their mistress in the eyes of her people. Tapestries interwoven with fine threads told tales of lives long past. Wooden panels echoed the whisperings of forgotten legends. Thus began the endless fascination with a woman who even in repose seemed to stir the imaginations of those who unearthed her. Upon the soft canvas of her skin, mysteries unfurled. The Ice Maiden bore markings that transcended artistry. Etched into her flesh were vignettes of spiritual and mythical dimensions, creatures from the realms of dreams, anointment in ink of myth, memory, and meaning. These tattoos, illumined in the thaw, unveiled a visual language only her soul could fully interpret. Her arms bore griffin-antlered deer, creatures half imagined, half manifest, suggesting narratives woven of earth and spirit. These enduring images spoke not just of status, but of spirit, revealing the Scythians as stewards of stories carried on winds and across generations. In pondering these marks, one finds pathways to a past both vivid and mysterious, as tattoos served not merely as embellishments, but as scrolls upon which history inscribed its secrets. Beneath the ink lay chapters of an ancient epic, revealing a world where symbols blazed as bright as stars, illuminating paths of identity and protection, the body a canvas and the soul its interpreter. As stewards of such artistry, the Scythians remind us that history is more than what is taught, but what is felt and seen through the prisms of human hearts and beliefs. And yet, the tale does not rest solely upon the living canvas of the princess's skin. At the heart of her enduring preservation lay the sophisticated artistry of the Scythian burial rite, a meditation on transience and eternity. Their embalming methods, rudimentary at a casual glance, proved advanced upon deeper appreciation. Organs removed, cavities sealed with nature's gifts of wool and grass, and bodies sewn shut, their silent meditation on life, death, and preservation. But it was not only human handcraft that ensured her endurance. Nature's embrace in the form of permafrost bestowed an extension of time, suspending corporeal decay in a perfect chrysalis, a marriage of man and element in the art of eternal care. The Ukok Plateau stood not merely as land, but as guardian. It cradled this tale within its frozen grip, a paradise untouched and unseen until that fateful discovery. Such preservation presents a compelling argument against perceiving ancient societies as primitive in the spectrum of human achievement. The Scythians understood the alchemical dance of life and time, earth and spirit, crafting rituals that resonated through the eons. These people, the Pazyryk Scythians, were not mere travelers of the steppe, but poets of existence, living out narratives written in the sacred communion between man, beast, and earth. Masters of horseflesh, they journeyed through time as both fable and fact, their tales a tapestry. Their legacy lived in the adornments they crafted, in gold that sang a song of conquest and beauty, and in the textiles that whispered of distant horizons and the elegant dancing of earthly hands with divine whisperings. Perhaps the princess's singular repose was less an enigma than a testament. Could she have been a guide between the worlds, a priestess waking not only into death but into myth? Her solitary tomb, rich in wonder, bore witness to a life that defied the traditional anchors of society, a narrative more akin to legend than life. She may have been woven in threads of power, a matriarch or mystic sharing insight with the divine and mortal. Her tomb's grandeur sang softly of a status untethered to mere mortals, yet in its loneliness offered a riddle upon which to endlessly ponder. Her burial remains a manuscript unto itself of power, measured not in subjects, but in solitude and transformation. Revered, perhaps, less as leader than as symbol of beauty, belief, and passage, the princess reminds us that the journey between life and that beyond is but a chapter in an epic whose pages are nowhere near closing. This reflection touches upon the fluidity of Scythian societal roles, whether mirroring our own imperfections or pointing toward an enlightened order. Their stories straddle both the known and quintessential unknown. In stepping back, the reflection expands beyond an individual resting in glorious isolation. Enter 6 horses, a ballet set by her side in a composition crafted by belief and necessity. In Scythian eyes, the horse was disproportionately more than a beast of burden. It was companion, guardian, and fellow traveler. By including steeds in burial, the Pazyryk painted a portrait of spirit animate in other forms, the belief weaving the bond between human and horseman transcending mere survival. Their departure was intricately performances, as much a ritual as any. The horses were more than mounts. They were spirit bridges to the unknown. As arched necks froze gloriously in time, these horses too bore stories of dimensions unseen, for they were woven into the cosmos of Scythian belief, not just through purpose or necessity, but by reverence. The Scythian equestrian art, adorned with mythical motifs, celebrated these magnificent creatures in symbolism of continuity, life to realm and beast to eternity. The braiding of mystical and real fit beautifully into the wider Scythian narrative. Yet questions remain, as history balances lightly upon a whisper, and truth echoes only if we choose to listen quietly enough. Her tattoos trigger speculation about the specifics of her identity. Could they unveil her music, sing of a priestess both communicative and intuitive, whispering truths from realms unseen? Esteem encased in silence speaks across time with the certainty of ubiquitous inquiry. Herein lies the deeper songs of life's complexities, sung on plains eternally familiar, but forever transformative. In this space, we consider the mystery of a solitary soul and speculate upon identities unheard. Perhaps no definitive answer can be found, only echoes of meanings that flicker like dying flames. Nonetheless, the princess's story communicates the broader significance of female roles in Scythian life, suggesting more than the oft-told tales of patriarchal rule. For nestled among the layers of dirt and history, triangulavists suggest evolving stories where female strength radiated tender power and intuitive rule, where harmonies sung silently by bodies revealed milestones that spirit unfolded in time-bound revelation. Indeed, as the Pazyryk's artistry predates the dust of civilizations wrapped in quiet longing for explanation, it issues from the relationship with equine eternity, rendering questions with no singular answers. They crafted, in a world seemingly in constant motion, a narrative where beauty survived ages forgotten, where textiles and treasures, imbued with such elegance, thread history not only in the warp and weft of the loom, but in life's tapestry itself. The vibrant patterns whispered across years, a hymn to narrative and to spiritual journeying beyond the expanses of mortal realm. In reaching beyond well-examined graves lies a crossroads rich with meaning and mystery. At home, with the paradox of opacity rendering the understanding of power and purpose. When faced with ornaments adorning quiet stillness, we find neither touch nor answer of definitive certainty. Yet, through each sculpted facet, through each hue, glimpse a life untethered to mortality. These ornaments, forever static, encapsulate countless tales held sovereign within time's measure. If the Ice Maiden reigns as a paragon of artistic advancement, the Scythian legacy unfolds in an embrace as gentle as it is resplendent. The balance of tradition, a harmony of artistry speaking through wood, wool, and iron rivals the craftsmanship of our own era, blending technology with spiritual intent. Their narratives resonate still, resonating through vines clinging to dreams, distant songs that echo through the void that was, an unfathomable state encapsulating brilliance spun by human strength and softness. Across the land once deemed savage lie stories recast, the mythos metamorphosing as interpretations nod to discern truth, synchronize heated discourse in archaeological tales of sophistication, outwitting skeptical narratives long since perpetrated by externalizing eyes, viewing ancient world through prism, both clear yet clouded by habits born of misunderstanding. Engaged now in a dialogue of narratives once unheard, we honor the rich legacy of antiquity as more tapestries than mere scrolls. Connected they were by waves of the barter trail, mingled not exclusively as borderless cultures, but as architects and emissaries. The exchange, a river where influences swam beneath the rippling surface, reflects upon every artifact resting here amidst mountain grass, waving in wind drenched with meaning, casting lights on interconnectedness forming a web. The world then intricate as now, vibrant nodes linked across time and expanse. Even Princess herself finds echoes, enveloping her identity in mystical corsets, where bonds transcended singular detail. Thus, the Ice Maiden's eyes, closed unto herself, reveal truths more complex than simplistic demystification allows. She offers her burial for our gaze, not to strip away her mystery, but to share within its folds a kind librarian opening the eternally memorable book. In so doing, we return not to Terra Pasta nor Ave Terra's folklore, beckoning understanding anew, layered and lush weaves that span infinite past beyond realms, erased by distance, measured not by time or space, known but spirit asleep beneath nature's tapestry. A quiet, resolute soul at rest, inviting contemplative dance upon the scrolls of eternity. In the stillness of the Andean highlands, where the whispers of ancient winds carry the echoes of forgotten chants, the Wari civilization once flourished between 500 and 1000 AD. Encased within the enigmatic shroud of time, the Wari emerged as architects of a world that would lay the foundation upon which the mighty Inca Empire would rise. Yet, so much about these people remains veiled in mystery, embedded in the very earth of the central highlands of modern-day Peru. Among the remnants that beckon to us from the past, the Wari Mummy Vault stands as a monumental testament to their spiritual and cultural prowess. This vault, unearthed in 2013, gifted us a rare, sacred window into the heart of the Wari way of life. Nestled within a stone chamber, hidden beneath layers of earth and time, it contained not merely the bones of their ancestors, but visions of their beliefs, their art, their interactions with the cosmos and the lands surrounding them. Here, within this stone sanctum, dozens of mummified remains lay quietly with an array of ceremonial goods, whispering tales of a civilization that knew the language of the earth and sky. The discovery emerged like a slow dawn over the peaks of Peru, as archaeologists, dusting away centuries of silence, found not only a multitude of mummies, but evidence of profound cultural and spiritual practices. The anthropological significance of this find cannot be overstated, for it provides an unprecedented canvas on which the complexities of Wari social hierarchies, their engagement with the environment, and their intricate spirituality are painted with solemn strokes of reverence. Creeping into the heart of the earth, the vault revealed more than just mummified bodies. It presented a spectacle of preservation, a symphony of stone and artifact that spoke to the advanced understanding the Wari held of death's rites. The mummies were reposed with a dignity befitting those of high status, surrounded by offerings and ceremonial items that bespoke a vibrant tapestry of life and afterlife interwoven with the material world. Within the womb of this chamber, the architecture itself was a testament to Wari craft and spiritual symbolism. Built with stone walls as resilient as the hearts of the mountains around them, the vault was a marvel of stonemasonry and structural engineering. This construction was no random assemblage, but a meticulously planned homage to their beliefs, echoing an understanding of the sacredness of space, the sanctity of death, and the spiritual journey beyond. The positioning of each mummy, their arrangement in relation to the ceremonial goods, was deliberate, a careful choreography of passage from one life to another. Such arrangements invite us to contemplate the Wari's embrace of death not as an end, but as an eternal voyage, a journey richly adorned with textile blessings and arms of pottery that cradled them in the afterlife's gentle embrace. Intriguingly, the preservation of these bodies owed much to both technique and environment. The dry embrace of the Andean air coalesced with human ingenuity, where desiccation methods intermingled with nature. Local herbs and plants may have woven their magic into the preservation processes, hinting at a Wari wisdom that married man and nature's artistry to protect their honored dead. Besides these silent guardians lay the ceremonial treasures, those vibrant echoes of cultural identity. Pottery and textiles, opulent with precious metals and stones, unravel the narratives of a civilization's social and artistic virtues. Each artifact was more than a mere object. It was a fragment of societal memory, whispering stories of technological prowess, artistic sensibility, and spiritual fervor from across the ages. The presence of these items alongside the mummified Wari is a testament to a society where material possessions remained integral to spiritual existence, insisting on a continuity of the earthly into the ethereal. Such traditions mirror broader Andean philosophies, where death was scarcely an ending, but a mystical transition, a dance between realms viewed with solemn reverence. From these entombed corridors of the past spring, fresh insights into Wari society as a vibrant tapestry of governance and hierarchy. The scale of their burial endeavors spoke of a sophisticated society where social rank persevered beyond mortal boundaries. It is here, amid these funeral adornments, that the echoes of power and influence resonate from lives long extinguished, their vestiges lighting the corridors of time. The ceremonial context of the vault points to a culture that engaged in widespread trade and cultural exchanges, inviting elements from neighboring societies into their world. An interconnectedness visible in the potter's glaze, the jeweler's art, and the weaver's design. This dynamic interplay with other cultures is a testament to the rich tapestry of interaction that bound the Wari to their distant neighbors in a communion of shared ideas and exchanged goods. Embedded within these graves, the shaman's echoes suggest a people who gazed beyond the veil, guided by those who traversed both the spiritual and earthly planes. These shamans, mediators of cosmic balance, stewards of souls, were the spiritual compasses around which the Wari world revolved, weaving mystical practice into the fabric of daily life. In the quiet recesses of the vault, we find imprints of shamanistic traditions, their importance underscored by the presence of ceremonial goods as tools of cosmic communication. These insights remind us of the shaman's role as both guide and guardian, a pivotal stabilizer of the sacred continuum between life and death. Embedded within this narrative is the Wari's deeply rooted spiritualism, a belief system that infused every gesture, each tradition, with cosmic significance. Burial practices were rituals of great care, cultivated to ensure harmony, a symphony of rites that underscored the spiritual and the temporal, born of sacred lore. Woven into the vault's story is the influence of the Andean environment, a force that shaped not only their habitat, but their very worldview. The Wari landscape, a tableau of high peaks and scarred ridges, played muse to the poetry of their existence, its rhythms guiding the pulse of their cosmic connections. Cryptic patterns etched onto pottery and fabric offer us fragments of a symbolic language, a means of conveying social laws or spiritual ideologies in geometrical whispers. These artifacts resonate with the harmonies of semiotic narratives, offering glimpses into their encoded wisdom, guarding mysteries akin to celestial cycles. The legacy of the Wari Mummy Vault stands as a beacon of temporal continuity, calling us to meditate upon the enduring connections between then and now. In the shadows of these stone sanctuaries, the vault continues to captivate and inspire, inviting scholars and dreamers alike to ponder the mysteries of the cosmos as seen through the Wari lens. This discovery stirs a modern reflection on ancient traditions, intertwining with the contemporary Andean fabric, where memories of ancestral ties reside deeply cherished beneath today's vibrant cultural mosaic. By embracing these old echoes, by listening to the Earth's whispers stilled by time, we are reminded of the ever-persistent bridge between humanity's yesterdays and tomorrows. Yet, with revelation comes responsibility. The preservation of the Wari Mummy Vault becomes our testament, our pledge to shield its secrets from the encroaching specters of time and decay. As stewards of this link to the past, conservation efforts invoke collaboration across disciplines, harmonizing ancient wisdom with modern science to safeguard the delicate dance of discovery. As we peer into the heart of this vault, we find not only the legacy of a powerful civilization, but the quiet embodiment of our shared human narrative, one where creativity, spirituality, and perseverance transcend the confines of era and geography. In this silence, we find connection, the echoes reaching through the ages, smoothing the shared tapestry of our collective memory. In the quiet, remote expanses of the Caucasus, where ancient mountains cradle secrets untold, a quiet Soviet archaeological dig took an unexpected turn. Unveiling skeletal remains with baffling and elevated radiation levels, the discovery whispered of mysteries intertwined with human history, weaving tales as profound as they were puzzling. The site, a burial ground shrouded in secrecy, awakened echoes of forgotten times, hinting at ancient knowledge or catastrophic events concealed beneath the calm surface. The enigmatic nature of this discovery lies not merely in the radiation that lingers, but in the implications it holds for the chronicles of human existence. One cannot help but wonder how these bones, resting undisrupted for centuries, could yet possess such power. This narrative invites listeners to embark on a contemplative journey into deeper questions, exploring the alluring intersection of history, science, and the unknown. As layers of governmental silence and the enigma of scientific exploration unfold, we stand before the threshold of a bygone narrative, inviting revelation. The Caucasus, a region where the ruggedness of rock and the majesty of peaks form a natural boundary, bridges the realms of Europe and Asia. This ancient land, steeped in both myth and tale, has borne witness to countless civilizations threading their stories through epochs. It is here, amidst the untouched landscapes, that the unearthed graves spark curiosity and scholarly debate. The gravity of this site, where radioactivity defies expected narratives, challenges us to reconsider the very essence of human ingenuity and the mysteries of technological capabilities. In the beginning, as the Soviet team embarked on their excavation, a routine find was anticipated. Fragments of pottery, whispering relics, and perhaps common artifacts of ancient peoples. Instead, they stumbled upon phenomena that defied their understanding. A graveyard resonating with a dangerous energy, ancient bones that were alive with radioactivity. This discovery disrupted conventional thoughts, forming a focal point of intrigue that sparked both debate and reverence among scholars and scientists. The mystery deepens with the ambiguity surrounding the radiation's origins. Was this the vestige of bygone powers, a relic of forgotten wisdom, or perhaps a more recent contamination? This debate animated conversations, weaving together historians and nuclear physicists on a tapestry of speculation and theories. The notion of a lost civilization rivaling modern technological prowess tantalized the imagination, as did the possibility of modern remnants infecting an ancient resting place. The narrative unfolds methodically, each hypothesis presented as reverent inquiry, probing whether ancient peoples could indeed harness such energy. As examination proceeded, meticulous scientific analysis unfolded. Specialists from diverse fields, nuclear physics, archaeology, and anthropology, joined the inquiry. Early conclusions hinted the radiation was not a modern intrusion, although skepticism and debate lingered, enveloping the findings in controversy. Addressing skepticism unveils the intersection of empirical questioning and the human pursuit of knowledge, setting the stage against a backdrop of historical intrigue and scholarly curiosity. The bones, their radiance vibrant with the potential of ancient civilizations, stir whispers of myths and lore, tales of societies, lost to time, possessing grandiloquent capacities long forgotten, resurrect in the minds of storytellers and listeners alike. Legendary civilizations such as Atlantis emerge from the shadows, their legends mingling with tangible evidence, suggesting extraordinary scientific mastery once rooted in reality. During the height of the Soviet Union, an era draped in secrecy, the discovery appeared cloaked in governmental silence, hinting at possible cover-ups. This era, marked by political tensions and stratagem, cast a shadow upon both the find and subsequent studies, inviting suspicion. Did officials seek to harness this mystery for strategic leverage? The tale contemplates the delicate dance of scientific discovery and political maneuvering, painting a somber portrait of this historical moment. The endeavor to unearth and comprehend radioactive remains is daunting, a process demanding adaptation from traditional archaeological methods. Protective garments become essential, as standard techniques falter against the weight of radiation. Here, the narrative reflects on the challenges and changes faced by archaeologists, traversing the fine line between scientific innovation and ethical considerations, urging contemplation on the transformative nature of discovery. In seeking to untangle the phenom, archaeologists turned to nuclear physicists, paving paths of interdisciplinary collaboration. These dialogues birthed new insights, yet they prompted more complex questions, illustrating the delicate balance between varied scientific domains. This encounter exemplifies a fusion of knowledge, where disparate fields align in pursuit of truths lost to time, urging audiences to ponder the interconnectedness of scientific inquiry. As patterns in radiation levels emerge upon further scrutiny, questions arise. Were these signatures naturally dispersed, or did they signify a deliberate action? Could these revelations be traces of an ancient catastrophe or intentional technological achievement? This segment explores what the radiation chart might indicate about origins, weaving hints of forgotten complexities into a tapestry ripe for exploration. Speculation flourishes regarding ancient peoples' potential mastery of elemental knowledge, akin to our modern nuclear theory. Did those who once walked this earth understand the web between metal and energy, life and alchemy? Here, parallels are drawn between known metallurgical practices and what the radioactive bones may unveil, provoking thoughts of lost scientific acumen that once turned the wheel of history. Within a historical context, similar precedents exist. Tales of mining and metallurgy that once entwined with radioactive elements lay testament to past interactions with these phenomena. Analyzing historical accounts offers insights into how ancient peoples may unknowingly have engaged with naturally radioactive substances, tying hypotheses to illuminate assumptions regarding ancient world radiation awareness. Speculation and conjecture swirl around the notion of governmental involvement. The possibility of censorship over findings deemed politically perilous invites critical reflection on the nuances of history's unfolding. Drawing from historical examples, the narrative delves into the layers of governmental oversight, coaxing an audience to question the dynamics between archaeological revelations and political machinations. Reflecting upon similar archaeological discoveries globally, instances arise where secrets remain obscured or reinterpreted through varying lenses. Here, tales of both controversy and undercurrents of deliberate cover-ups resonate, providing a broad context for understanding the implications of radioactive findings, a meditation on the rewriting of history and humanity's eternal search for hidden truths. Considering the intersection of consciousness and energy, the narrative entices listeners to explore philosophies that suggest an ancient comprehension of energy, transcending mere physicality, enfolding spiritual and scientific realms alike. This invites a melding of disciplines, blurring lines between technology and consciousness, urging collective imagination to stretch toward metaphysical possibilities. Inquiring whether the radioactive phenomena observed emerged naturally from regional geology or signified artificial ingenuity poses crucial questions about the reach of ancient science. Could some hidden truths await beneath our present understanding, suggesting remnants of forgotten technologies grappling with the present limits of scientific methodologies? Amidst this wealth of discovery, the cultural impact of the graveyard ripples through local and global narratives. The implications, whether scientific or socio-political, offer vibrant vistas for reflection, inviting journeys into stories that trace cultural evolution, reminding us that the past remains present in complex intersections between nations and epochs. Local legends acquire a newfound vibrance when entwined with evidence of radioactivity. Their allegorical whispers suggest tangible interactions between myth and material truth, binding listeners to age-old wisdoms evolving through discovery. These echoes of storied pasts touch upon truths hidden within folklore, where spiritual understanding communes with archaeological realities. Among the array of theories lies the proposition of extraterrestrial influence, positing that the radiation might hint at past celestial encounters. While such tales teeter on the edge of believability, they inspire fascinating musings, weaving intricate threads between disciplines and spurring imagination toward cosmic possibilities. Religious interpretations mingle with scientific discourse, infusing the narrative with mysticism. Some view these residual energies as divine marks, signs from ethereal realms, knitting existing religious thought into the evolving tapestry of understanding. These interpretations provide varied lenses through which to view the bones, suggesting broader relationships between historical finds and spiritual evolutions. Across academic communities, responses to the discovery diverged greatly. Some scholars embraced the skeletal revelations as gateways to expanded knowledge. Others approached them with circumspection, wary of the allure of pseudoscience. This tension illuminates dynamics shaping the academic landscape and invites meditation on the complex paths discoveries must travel to assert their place within the annals of history. Beneath this wealth of inquiry and interpretation, the bones themselves remain silent, their quietude resonant with unsolved enigmas. This timeless silence beckons curiosity and urges perpetual exploration toward deeper understanding. The silent bones remind us of the unspoken expanse of human wonder and whisper of the eternal pursuit of knowledge, enshrouded within both historical contemplation and academic endeavor. Yet hope brightens the horizon as interdisciplinary research promises to illuminate the path forward. With newly emerging technologies and expanding global collaboration, prospects for unraveling the enigma ignite possibility. The unfolding narrative envisions pathways where the crossroads of innovation and tradition span an exciting future, nurturing visions of discovery beyond our current comprehension. As we draw these myriad threads together, the interconnected web of history emerges in splendor. Across epochs and geographical boundaries, time weaves tales into a shared tapestry of human endeavor. By posing questions yet unanswered, we leave the listener in a meditative state, aware that the essence of wonder is as eternal as the human spirit's thirst for knowledge. In resting contemplation, we step back from conclusions. The graveyard's enigma stands as a cornerstone for both historical understanding and the pursuit of future insights. Here lies an enduring thread, inviting endless exploration into humanity's ancient whisperings, a call to engage with untold narratives. The mystery is unveiled yet abides, kindling flames of curiosity that promise every listener a journey across the tapestry of time, knitting science with the endless wonder of tomorrow. Death, the shadowy gate beyond which our earthly gaze often hesitates to wander, has stirred the imaginations and minds of humanity since time immemorial. It stands as an ultimate boundary, beyond which lies the vast unknown, a realm where the secrets of existence beckon with an enigmatic allure. As we draw the curtains of this mystery apart, we embark on a journey through dimensions transcending the familiar contours of life, traversing spiritual philosophies and the insights of science, joining forces with myths that have traveled through the ages. Here lies the exploration of what awaits beyond the final breath, a journey inviting curiosity and contemplation as we unlock the eternal door where the impossible becomes the plausible. In this profound exploration, we invite you to cast aside the fear commonly associated with death and instead view it as a threshold, a bridge that leads not into oblivion, but into other realms of experience and understanding. Death need not be an end. It might be a continuation, an integral chapter in an ever-evolving journey, ripe with potential for new understandings and boundless wisdom waiting to greet each soul. To wander through this enigma with an openness of heart is to invite revelations that independent thought, stripped of earthly confines, might visit upon us. Ancient civilizations stood as silent witnesses to the mysteries of death and often regarded it as a transition, a passage to other realms rather than an end. The Egyptians envisioned the Duat, a place where the soul journeys and is weighed. The Greeks crafted vivid tales of an underworld ruled by Hades, while the Norse warriors anticipated Valhalla, a hall of eternity. These cultures crafted elaborate rituals meant to guide souls safely along their journey, ensuring they reached these realms with reverence from the gods. One might ponder whether these stories were flights of imagination or grounded in observations, or even deeper truths perceived from dimensions beyond our own earthly perception. The connections between the living and the afterlife found articulation in symbolism and rites. These ancient guides to facing death with honor and preparedness reflect humanity's innate curiosity and desire to reconcile with the unknown elements of existence. By weaving these narratives with the modern understanding of death, we see that curiosity continues unabated, a tale uninterrupted since the dawn of human consciousness, echoing through the ages. In our time, near-death experiences present compelling narratives suggesting glimpses into uncharted dimensions. For those at the precipice of death, many recount journeys through tunnels of light, encounters with loved ones long departed, or sensations of being elsewhere entirely. These stories bridge cultures, suggesting shared threads in the human experience. While some dismiss these as hallucinations of a brain on the verge of shutting down. As illusions born from the brink of consciousness, the accounts of those who have returned speak with poignant authenticity. These narratives light candles in the dark, pointing toward possible truths beyond life. They hint at a consciousness that may transcend the physical shell, urging both science and spirituality to forge paths into the unknown, wondering if consciousness might survive beyond physical boundaries. The consistency of these experiences across cultures speaks to a deeper truth, one that threads through the human condition regardless of creed or faith, suggesting that dimensions beyond life may be part of our existential makeup. Quantum physics, with its elegant mysteries of entanglement and uncertainty, offers further fertile ground for speculation about life beyond the mortal coil. Its intriguing assertions about parallel universes and superpositions might be threads in the tapestry that link life with wider existences and realities. Could the ever-elusive nature of quantum mechanics whisper of a continuity where consciousness exists independently of its physical vessel? Here, science and spirituality begin to dance within the same mysterious embrace. In this speculative dance, quantum entanglement may offer a canvas upon which spiritual and philosophical imaginations can paint a broader picture, one that acknowledges the complexity and delicacy of existence beyond the finite body. Our imaginations soar as particles behave unpredictably, and we begin to wonder if our consciousness might also partake in a form of superposition, a bond not confined, where thought and awareness traverse beyond bodily death, forming a bridge between realms seen and unseen. Yet another lens through which to view life beyond death is consciousness itself. Consciousness is the eternal puzzle, persistently resisting absolute definition and understanding. If confined only to the brain, the final heartbeat spells the cessation of self. Yet some argue for consciousness as elemental, a primary aspect of existence, unbounded by form. Here, death acts not as terminus, but as catalyst, potentially unfurling into a new plane of existence. Pioneering exploration into consciousness considers survival beyond bodily demise. Those who faced death and returned often report profound clarity and perception that challenge our standard understanding of being. These insights nudge science onward into realms once governed exclusively by philosophy, beckoning closer to the core questions about what it means to be aware, alive, and continuous, expanding our narratives of death into a cycle reaching beyond corporeal existence. Exploring life after death brings us into the sphere of cross-cultural interpretations, where the multiplicity of ideas paints a kaleidoscope of belief. Humanity's desire to understand the afterlife, or to assign meaning to it, spans cultures and eras, offering a reflection of our shared desire to commune with what lay beyond. Each tradition brings a unique stitch to the tapestry of death, illustrating imaginative realms as dynamic and varied as the lives feeding into them. Whether it be the Eastern philosophies of karma and reincarnation, viewing life and death as part of an unfolding process of growth, or the Western metaphysical exploration into moral judgment leading to eternal destinies, these systems emphasize that life and its progression echo in wider contexts than those immediately visible. Bridging Western and Eastern thought, we witness a symphony of insights speaking to our intrinsic need to capture the infinity within the frame of our finiteness. Modern spiritual movements echo ancient pathways while navigating new dimensions with contemporary perspectives. The quest continues in movements advocating soul evolution and reincarnation, presenting life and death as integral to spiritual awakening, where death and the lessons it imparts are embraced as pathways to wisdom rather than avoiding its challenge. Practices like meditation and astral projection invite soulful nurturing to transcend bodily confines, participating in a journey renewed, seeking wholeness over apprehension. Psychedelics, too, play a role as vehicles of discovery. Sacred throughout history and seeing a resurgence of interest, substances like DMT and psilocybin have been shown to open portals mirroring near-death experiences. Participants frequently describe journeys that seem more real than reality itself, meeting entities and traversing landscapes untouched by time. These glimpses draw us closer to understanding death, suggesting psychedelics as a bridge, a means by which humanity may peer beyond the veil. Similarly, ancient texts like the Tibetan Book of the Dead offer structured guidance through the transition. The Bardo Thodol charts the soul's journey, advising on navigating intermediate states with wisdom. It celebrates death as a transformation, a part of a cycle that weaves its way through life. Practitioners draw insight and courage from its teachings, preparing the mind to face illusions within post-death states, realizing the possibilities of enlightenment or reincarnation. As science persistently probes the veil, studies into life after death continue to evolve. Though proof remains elusive, parapsychology dissects phenomena once relegated to the paranormal, from mediumship to energy fields, and seeks empirical validation for the idea that life's continuity might exist post-mortem. Scientific credibility edges nearer as technology and inquiry unfold ever further, venturing into territories of understanding once left uncharted. In contemplating death, we inevitably consider the legacy we leave, the echoes of our influence, and the stories extending beyond our physical extinguishment. Here lies a form of afterlife rooted in remembrance, where love and impact reverberate throughout time. This perspective invites us to consider death not as termination, but as an opportunity for our presence to persist through the lives we touch, continually moving humanity's narrative forward. Fear often mires the path to understanding death, blocking the full vigor of life. But by reframing death as a progression and necessary transition, the fear diminishes, yielding space for liberation and growth. Practices of meditative reflection and ancestral wisdom can shift the perception of death, freeing us to embrace it as part of a grander continuum rather than dreading its arrival. In the quantum realms of energy and soul, we glimpse continuity beyond life, where consciousness might orbit through dimensions and universes beyond the cycle of corporeality. Energy remains a timeless constant, and in perceiving death as part of transformation, the idea of continuity takes on an illuminated presence. Freed from the constraints of corporeal form, the spark, a soul, breathes in harmony with the cosmos, eternally evolving. Past life memories blur the lines between continuity and closure, offering tantalizing evidence of cyclic existence. Through personal recollections carrying uncanny resonances, these narratives suggest a transcendental unity in life's tapestry, threading experiences through varied yet interconnected existences. As researchers delve deeper, past life experiences reinforce speculation and highlight that the story of existence may carry on through cycles beyond immediate comprehension. Karmic cycles propose life as interconnectivity incarnate, where death acts merely as passing through a doorway, an opportunity for reflection, reset, and progression in an eternal cycle. The actions and intentions within one's life are seeds sowed for future lifetimes, acting as navigational signposts along an evolving spiritual journey. Through karmic understanding, death shifts to a natural punctuation within a dialogue of consciousness that echoes and resounds indefinitely. Astral travel extends the boundaries of our perception, offering glimpses into realities that might lie beyond the limitations of our mortal coil. In astral states, seekers experience liberation from physical confines, exploring ethereal dimensions with consciousness unfettered, propelling ideas of boundlessness where death loses its hold. Through such explorations, we entertain the notion that life might unfurl into dimensions as vast and varied as the cosmos itself. Science and spirituality might once have stood apart, but today they find common ground exploring life beyond earthly confines. From new explorations in consciousness research to ancient metaphysical philosophies, the weaving of empirical elements with spiritual insight broadens understanding of life's ultimate continuity, an eternal narrative where the universe itself is a co-schemer in our collective endeavor. Reincarnation offers perspectives of eternal returning, contending that life unfurls along cycles wherein the soul incarnates across time, offering profound insights into the essence of being. Drawing from cultural and spiritual narratives, reincarnation suggests continuity transcending single lifetimes, celebrating the cyclical rhythms of life as an integral dance within the cosmos, where death marks a passage, not a cessation. Dreams allow glimpses into realms beyond our conscious reach, where the borders between life and death blur into elements both familiar and foreign. Nocturnal visions often reveal messages that speak to deeper truths about continuity, viewed through cultural lenses as sacred spaces of enlightenment, where the sleeping mind touches unknowable dimensions. Through dreams, we glimpse invisible landscapes, offering fruition to the belief that life stretches beyond the thresholds of mortality. Engaging with the wisdom of ancestors strengthens ties to realms past, forging links that transcend time and place. Ancestral connections provide insight, guidance, and support, grounding our identity in continuity beyond the present. In honoring the ancestry, we embrace both the wisdom and lessons of those who once walked the earth, recognizing the span of their influence in shaping our ongoing journeys. Enlightenment, often described as the dissolution of self, offers a liberating view of death as reunion with the universal. Through practices achieving transcendence, the soul returns to its cosmic source, perceiving death not as an ending but a celebrated homecoming, where individuality merges into the infinite sea of existence, a transformation embraced in tranquility, reflecting the realization of life's boundless nature. As we draw together these threads of thought and experience, we find ourselves gazing into a mosaic of possibilities, rich with mystery and infinite potential. The landscape of death, bathed in questions and illuminated by insights, calls upon us to ponder without ceasing. It whispers of life's journey intertwined with eternity, where death acts only as a fellow traveler. Through these reflections, we realize a shared humanity, continually inching toward broader realms of being, forever curious and endlessly seeking what lies beyond the horizon, where life and death dance in eternal embrace. In the silent chambers of history, where the whispers of ancient civilizations linger like specters, we find ourselves drawn to the mysteries hidden within sealed tombs. Across the globe, archaeologists have encountered burial sites that, once opened, were swiftly resealed. The secrets within hurried back into obscurity, as if the discoveries themselves cast shadows too long for this world. These tombs often contain relics, unfathomable texts, or remains unlike any others, all seemingly veiled by a purpose, a desire to keep them from the prying eyes of the public. This sacred shrouding begs the question: were they safeguarding the artifacts themselves, transcending into the realm of legend and cautionary tale? Or were they sheltering humanity from the havoc these truths might unleash? The very act of sealing and then concealing these treasures from the world has ignited theories as menacing as the artifacts they protect. The paradox lies not only in the omission, but in how these findings challenge the cusp between factual history and speculative narration. In the void left by official records, stories emerge, tales of power-laden objects cloistered away to prevent their potential disruption of human history or scientific credence. Perhaps the absence of these narratives from mainstream consciousness is deliberate, aimed at maintaining societal balance. Whether knowingly or not, it suggests that what is hidden shapes reality just as much as, if not more than, what is revealed. The guardianship of arcane secrets is a mantle carried by institutions revered for their custodianship of knowledge. Museums and academies, bastions of civilization's triumphs and marvels, often find themselves at the heart of stewardship controversies. When discoveries are made, only to vanish into the depths of restricted collections, questions about intent surface like shadows cast by ancient lamplight. It is here that curiosity intertwines with suspicion, where theories oscillate from mundanity to a metaphysical spectrum. Could these institutions be gatekeepers, assessing the potential fallout from the revelations they guard? Interwoven with this narrative is the subtle, intricate dance of power between institutions and governments. The shadowy intervention of state bodies, citing reasons of national security or cultural conservation, further obscures these findings. This complex tapestry of control and secrecy suggests deeper motives, ancient truths that might challenge long-held beliefs about human capability and our role in the cosmos. In turn, this absence of clarity feeds the insatiable hunger for answers, drawing in those who seek to pierce the darkness. As we wander through the corridors of time, we encounter another dichotomy: the thin line dividing preservation and protection. Findings shrouded in bureaucratic veils often serve dual purposes, conserving cultural heritage and averting risks tied to their exposure. Preservationists contend that such measures keep artifacts safe from exploitation, ensuring their legacy for the ages. Yet, there exists a more ominous perspective, that what lies within might provoke chaos if allowed to escape the tomb's grip. The secretive guardianship of these relics demands reflection on the ethics of information sharing and the vast responsibilities of safeguarding potentially hazardous historical knowledge. The echoes of history reverberate with tales of enigmatic phenomena that challenge known laws and expectations. These anomalies, scattered like cosmic breadcrumbs, blur the line between reality and legend. They suggest possibilities that the mind can scarcely grasp. Sculptures of distant eras that defy the architectural capabilities of their time, texts that describe a world stranger than fiction, and artifacts suggesting technologies that bypass known scientific parameters. Such mysteries invite speculation, contemplation about ancestors who might have harnessed knowledge or encountered truths that remain elusive to contemporary understanding. Within these enigmatic discoveries, alternative histories beckon, tales of advanced civilizations or celestial influences that probe the depths of human imagination. The scant details available breathe life into hyperbolic narratives and foster a realm rich in potential explorations, marrying historical inquiry with esoteric musings. Their subtle existence pushes against the thresholds of perception, shedding light on advanced sciences and cosmic philosophies yet to be fully realized or embraced by modernity. Artifacts of power, those enigmatic objects rumored to possess supernatural prowess or advanced technological interventions, haunt the annals of archaeology. Legends imbue them with life, tales of stones that heal, artifacts that manipulate time, and relics that channel unknown energies. Yet, these stories often stall at the gates of institutional and bureaucratic bastions, where their truth remains tantalizingly out of reach, etching them indelibly in myth. They straddle the ephemeral boundary between the mystical and empirical, hinting at untapped facets of reality more complex and varied than the material world suggests. The tantalizing presence of these artifacts raises questions about the boundaries of what is known and what is possible. They beckon a dialogue on the moral dimensions of unlocking their enigmatic potential and the profoundly transformative impacts such revelations could bear on our concept of natural laws. Their intentional obscuration hints at an awareness of consequences still unexplored, beyond the physical and into the spiritual and psychological dominions of existence. Buried within the Earth's layers are the enduring testaments of lost civilizations, reminders of societies that thrived, innovated, and vanished, leaving behind only cryptic vestiges. The puzzles they pose continue to captivate modern seekers, treasures that refuse to yield their secrets easily, crafting a tantalizing mosaic of what once was. These vestiges prompt broader dialogues about cycles of civilization, how human progress intertwines with epochs of calamity, and intimate the coexistence of divergent pathways of enlightenment and decay. For those who dare to delve into the labyrinth of time, these stories offer glimpses of alternate realms of understanding and possibilities for human evolution. Distant mythologies, born from the traditions of storytelling, anchor themselves into the human psyche, filtering truths through the vivid imagination of cultures. Deities and spirits, mythic heroes who traverse the span of human experience, serve as bridges between what can be seen and what remains immanent. These narratives, despite the relentless advance of technology, retain their grip upon collective consciousness, urging society to explore the hidden metaphors woven into the fabric of these myths. The rich tradition of myth-making echoes attempts to map celestial relationships, construct monumental alignments with the stars, or capture phenomena that transcend scientific boundaries. They inspire accounts of celestial voyages or terrestrial encounters with otherworldly travelers. For the daring, they suggest glimpses of profound truths, cosmic harmonies capable of altering perceptions about existence. As guardians of the sacred, rituals adapt and endure, offering portals into realms that defy conventional understanding. Rooted deep within the cultural soul, these rites guard pathways toward unity with the divine cosmos. Whether shamanic rites to commune with nature or ceremonial practices of mystic orders, they converge upon the sacred, preserving spiritual power and tradition across generations. Such practices, carefully guarded, ensure their preservation within cloistered circles, as uninitiated meddling could unravel the intrinsic balance vital for unlocking cosmic potential. They're veiling guards against misuse, protecting those untutored in sacred awareness. The guardianship raises questions about the mastery required to engage in the spiritual dance, a paradigm where the simple merging with cosmic order necessitates an understanding of time and transformation. Throughout humanity's journey, ancient wisdom reverberates, echoing eternally through time. These sage voices transmit teachings that remain just as relevant today as they were in ages past, their profound insights etched into the very soul of history. Their timeless relevance serves as a reminder of the inherent connection between past wisdom and modern progress, bridged by their enduring resonance. The indelible footprints of scientific pursuit take shape within the empirical world, casting visions through quantifiable frameworks. Yet, within the unexplained and the esoteric lies a frontier that historical fact cannot fully embrace. Consciousness and reality intersect at this juncture, embodying the necessity for expanding our comprehension beyond what the scientific method prescribes. Here, the dialogue welcomes alternative methodologies that acknowledge spiritual perspectives and metaphysical truths, fostering harmony between empirical knowledge and divine exploration. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious touches upon interconnected threads that bind humanity through archetypes and ancestral reflections. This collective wellspring underscores the symmetries present across cultures, suggesting a shared psychic lineage woven deeply within the human tapestry. It hints at synchronicities pulsing beneath the surface, guiding shared dreams toward greater cosmic openness. The continual pursuit of unlocking these mysteries invites a deeper appreciation of universal truths, which emerge amidst evolving paradigms of consciousness. Across epochs, the search persists for archetypal energies that traverse beyond individual confines, guiding humanity's potential for spiritual and scientific progress. In the shadows of history, secret societies emerge, cloaked within a legacy of guardian wisdom and formidable influence. These esoteric circles hold timorous echoes of alchemical lore, hermetic secrets, and cosmic insights, with careful guardianship within discrete assemblies. Their presence throughout the fabric of human culture marks them as adept custodians of truths transcending earthly forms. The enduring mystery of their silence speaks volumes of responsibility, an implicit arrangement suggesting selective initiation into timeless wisdom cloaked in secrecy, awaiting the readiness of the seeker. Their role expounds on the efforts binding humanity's perpetual quest for meaning, an odyssey of intellectual discovery we undertake with reverence and respect. In the annals of history, The ancient architects of awe-inspiring constructions, monuments in harmony with cosmic rhythms, remain enshrouded in mystique. These grand endeavors challenge modern comprehension and suggest capabilities melding magical understanding with human ingenuity. Their feats of engineering resonate across time, enigmatic blueprints carved with purpose and alignment, pointing to skills transcending linear narratives. As they wrestle with their celestial dance, humanity finds itself both spectator and participant, a consciousness resonating with the symphony of cosmic understanding. In this expression lives the unyielding relationship between what has been created and what lies yet uncovered across both the earth and the heavens. The innate bond between terrestrial life and celestial counterparts is woven through cultural fabric and the evolutionary journey of human consciousness. Love songs to the stars, astrological wisdom, and rhythmic observance of planetary movements attest that humanity seeks eternal meaning reflected in the celestial realms. Observations of cosmic interactions held in the folk memory of the world's peoples reveal the threads intertwining nature's richness with humanity's quest for cosmic kinship. Scientists and metaphysicians together seek to deepen understanding of how planetary energies and patterns of divine influence weave themselves into earthly phenomena. The seeker's chorus echoes through the abyss. Lost arts of the past proffer intriguing possibilities to contemporary scholars. They cast light upon avenues ripe for exploration, where the recreation of ancient marvels reveals underlying truths of human innovation. Such skills survived through eons hidden from view, their revival a testament to the transformative power of historiographical synthesis, where ancient craftsmanship meets modern ambition. In these dissemination attempts, the dialogue strives for the delivery of historical authenticity while addressing contemporary applications of age-old techniques. As these ancient methodologies engage with present understanding, enthusiasts glimpse cocooned maturity, offering creative cooperation with temporal shifts in cultural consciousness. Beneath the landscapes of the living world are metaphysical channels, like ley lines, posited to intersect the realms of natural wonder and ancient human intention. Called ley lines, or paths of earth energy, they resonate with whispered voices of sacred localities and connective tissue stitching the land's energetic grids. Though scientific validation of these networks remains elusive, stories entwine their presence with spiritual and geomagnetic features that nurture life systems. They hint at dynamics between geology, culture, and consciousness studies, establishing deep roots in humanity's holistic environmental symbiosis. In this immersion rests concepts elaborating upon the unseen and profound. Labyrinthine grids aligned past and present echo their symphonic cadence. As the journey through hidden mysteries reaches its final chapter, we stand on the precipice of wonder, awe, and discovery. Each mystery, concealed within whispered shadows, tantalizes with hints of untold potential, inviting humanity to reach further, think deeper, and embrace the unknown. Bridging the realms of past wisdom and spiritual quests, the journey is not an ending, but a tapestry of never-ending revelations, weaving through the continuum of existence. The synthesis of historical truth and divine narrative begets new paths of contemplation, opening doors to enlightened exploration and purpose. As guardians of the human odyssey, we traverse the unknown, guided by curiosity and direction toward unraveling the cryptic truths, safeguarding harmony and universal understanding. Through reverence and openness, we embrace this ongoing voyage, every step revealing a vibrant dance of wonder across eternity.